Good morning, Shravan. Good morning, Atishay. Good morning, Saijal. Only four of you.
Good morning, Sumit.
Good morning, guys. Only four of you. See, only not three of you, including me. There are four, right?
Yeah.
God, how come everybody's busy doing what? Or is it winter? Yeah, Jaipur में भी है. It's winters, right? Saijal, it's
Yeah, it is.
in my hometown also. My hometown would be around 6 hours from your place, or from Jaipur.
Okay.
It's really cold.
Mm.
So, guys, any one of you, can you do a message on the group? It's the time to join.
Done, Sumit.
Are there any responses?
Not yet.
Maybe we can wait for 3 more minutes and then we will start for the people who are there, right? And only three of you are there, Atishay, Shravan, and Saijal. I don't know, like people lost interest in the course, or is it because of cold, or I don't know what is the issue. But we'll continue. Okay?
Okay, Sumit.
We're in valuation, right? We'll go ahead in valuation. All right, guys. So we now have five people: Saichal, Bhaskar, Atishay, Shravan, and Abhila Shah. So I guess it's time we start, and can't wait more. So a lot of things happening in the public market, and that is the case with every week, every month, every year, right? A lot of things keeps on happening. Now that I am part of public market official in the sense that I have joined a job into public market, so my daily job now is to keep reading on the public market, which is something I used to do 3 hours a day. Now that has been replaced by almost 8 hours a day, and uh, and my morning 3 hours are now unlocked because now they were earlier they were logged in studying the public market companies for my own portfolio. But since I've been doing it now for all the working 8 hours or 9 hours for the company, so those 3 hours are unlocked. And honestly, from last 10 days, it's been that I'm using those 3 hours to sleep a lot. But I need to really make a plan and to utilize that 3 hours again. But last since 10 days now, I've been sleeping a lot. So earlier I used to wake up at 4. Nowadays I'm waking up at 6:30. So almost, yeah, 2.5 hours of extra sleep I'm having since last 10 days. So entering into new year is kind of too much of sleep for me. But then, yes, I'm really not liking it, and I'm working to overcome this and think of a plan to utilize that 3 or 2.5 hours again. So let's see how it goes. So that is the status, guys, from my side. I hope things are good at your end too. Yeah. And now that we are now a very small group of 6 people, we can really have more detailed discussion on things because I can really customize things for anyone's wish now. All right. So I'm audible, right? I'm just not talking to myself, right?
Yes, Sumit, clearly audible.
So one of the culprit for my extra sleep, Saijal, is also the winter. The winter. But then that didn't used to have that much of effect till last year. I don't know suddenly how this year it has really overtaken my.
This this year cold is actually winters are actually quite and what
They're
should I
saying that
say?
by 14th of January, generally winters cool down, right? Cool down in the sense it goes away, or the temperature goes to 15, 16 normally, or to 20 at least. But this time, 14th January is already passed, and the winter crazy is the same.
Still 8-9 degrees.
Yeah.
It is 8 degrees here
I
right
was
now.
washing my hand in the morning, and it was paining like hell. Oh my God. Too much of cold or chilled water it was.
It's fine because I don't use hot water. I use cold water only in winters as well.
Pakka Rajasthani and Marwadi you are. The way I was the same Saijal till I went to till I got married, I must say. Yeah. It was till 2016, 17, wherever location. In fact, in Delhi, also when I did my MBA, I know I was the only one, and I was known for this in the entire my IMI community and the hostels, juniors, seniors both, that I still use cold water to wash and to take bath. And everyone was like really surprised to know that. How come? Because Delhi is too cold, right?
Hmm.
Delhi, December, January is too cold. You have lived in Gurgaon, so you know it. Mm. But now after marriage, somehow, that coziness of warm water is really amazing. So I got into that habit year by year that I started using warm water for bathing. But yeah, if you use cold water for bathing 12 months a year, uh, it keeps you healthy, right? You don't generally catch cold and sneezing and all this thing, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't come easily to you. That is true. Valuation, guys. Now, valuation in Indian market, in fact, in any market, valuation is something which is not that mathematical game, guys. Though DCF has tried to make it a mathematical game, and we try to use DCF as a mechanism to calculate. This is what we discussed last time, right? To calculate the value of something called as firm, and to calculate the value of something called as equity. And there is a difference between these two, right? This is something we talked about in the last session, the last few minutes of the session, right? And the difference results into two different kind of value for any company. One is enterprise value, another one is equity value, right? Guys, remember that
Yes.
vaguely? So what is firm? So what is firm? This is what we had discussed last time, right? What is firm? What is firm, and why, how is it different from equity?
Firm includes both debt and equity. In equity, it's only the equity shareholders. This
Into consideration all the capital providers, right? All the capital providers right? So you would be curious. I don't know if you would be curious to know this, but you need to understand that we evaluate a company to understand its operating value. You need to understand. I might have touched upon it earlier also, because you may find many companies which are having huge investments other than operating assets into assets which are non-operating, into assets which are non-operating. What can be those investments? Hmm?
Uh,
Other companies, maybe.
So
Financial
it can be all those options which we are also having. Most of the options we also have. One or two options we can't have because we are individual and companies like institutions. So otherwise, it can be a mutual fund. It can be a direct equity of a company, of a non-group company, which is not belonging to the group itself, right?
Yeah.
Non-group company or non-associate company. Or it can be a debt fund, a debt mutual fund. So like mutual fund, it can be a debt mutual fund, and it can be a direct bond, or a debenture of a company, or a bond of a government, or T-bills. Not T-bills, but government comes up with a lot of bonds, right? Highway building bonds or something like that.
Yes.
So it can be bond or debentures. And I said, we don't have that option, but institutions have the option to invest into venture capital, right? Into a startup, or investing into a startup, or in a VC fund. There are a lot of VC funds which are there, to which you can invest, and they then invest into small companies or startups and all, right? So these are the various options which institution can have. We can have all the first three options also, but yeah, we see something which, because it requires minimum 1 crore rupees. When I was used to be into the advising of these kind of VC products back in 2016, when I was working with ICICI Bank Wealth Division. That time, the minimum requisite amount which these funds used to accept was 1 crore. I don't know if it has changed to now upper limit, but yeah. And now, not everybody can come up with 1 crore rupees immediate one shot payment, right? So that is why an institution but can have that kind of wherewithal to give that money. But we call them non-operating, Bhaskar. Any reason why we call them non-operating assets? Why all of these could be a non-operating asset for a company called Colgate? Bhaskar, why these could be categorized as non-operating assets for a company like Colgate?
Yeah, Sumit.
I'm asking why these all assets should be categorized as non-operating assets for a company like Colgate. Like a company like Colgate investing into mutual fund, direct equity, bond, debentures, startup, VC funds should be considered as a non-operating assets. Why?
Because he is investing into dentistry product, and it is not organic investment, so he would be doing things to the other company. So that is, if he would have been Colgate would have been a financial company, then we would have considered, okay, this is the fine job he is doing.
Okay. Just think about it. Just give me more understanding. Atisha, Saijal, just think about 2 minutes and then you talk. Okay. Just think about it. Why we should consider this as a non-operating asset.
And also, Sumit, I would like to add in this.
Sorry, can you come again?
Yeah, so I was telling that also I would like to add on. Operating assets means the asset which generates means production capacity, or maybe the other things as well. So in that category, I can consider that whatever the investment Colgate, if it is doing in this sector, so if it is not generating anything other than this one, I mean my production enhancement. So on that basis, I can say that this is not operating asset.
Interesting. Cool. Great, Bhaskar. Yeah. What about others? Atisha, Saijal?
Yeah, for me, it's the same that because operating assets are those which are directly related to my business, and these are not related to my business. I'm investing my extra cash or funds into them. That's why they are non-operating for me, investments
So
for me.
when you talk about this extra cash, who is the actual owner of that extra cash? Who that cash belongs to, and why are we categorizing that cash to be an extra cash?
Belongs to the firm. Me, it's like
Why
individual
is it
firm.
extra? Nee, the firm and me are two different things. You
In
cannot say Saijal. Me over here is
like
Saijal, right?
belongs to Colgate. If we
And
it's
firm
belong,
here is Colgate.
yeah.
So recently, what happened? Saijal, it's important to understand me and who the cash belong to. You need to understand that. So there's this company, Hinduja Global Solution. Okay. So it went on a lower circuit of 20%. Let's look at it. Can you see the fall? From 3,570, it fell to what price? Whatever the price is, but basically the fall is how much? Can you see? Notice that? Or is it not visible on your screen? Is it too small?
20%.
20% down, 714.
You know why the price didn't go more than 20%? Any idea? Because market, there is a mechanism of something called as upper circuit and lower circuit.
Yeah.
When there is an unnecessary increase in the price or unnecessary decrease in the price, SEBI comes into it and regulators comes into it, be the exchange or the regulators come into it, and they put either upper circuit or a lower circuit. If it is going too low, then they would put a lower circuit. If it is going too up, then they would put a upper circuit. The circuit can start, they can start putting circuit from 5% movement itself. In few stocks, they would start it from 10%. In few stocks, they would start at 20%. But beyond 20%, they would not let any stock fall or go up. Mostly, in most of the cases. Are you getting what I'm saying, Sajid? It is like the trading is stopped. Now you cannot stop beyond 2,856. You can't trade now. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Can you please explain it again? It's not a.
So let Shravan explain this to you, because Shravan explains these things very well than me. Shravan, why not you help our participant Sajal to understand this concept of lower and upper?
So I understood this the way you explained only, like after your explanation only, that the price was whatever it was, 3,800 something. So from 3,800 to it fell down by 20%, which is 700 रुपया नीचे गिर गया. So 2,856 something हो गया. So that means that is the limit. Beyond उसके नीचे और जाने भी नहीं देगा regulator. You know, वहाँ पे एक like barrier डाल दिया एक तरह से regulator ने, SEBI ने, कि you know this stock price is going too down, it's falling too much, so they put a cap.
So we need to understand how the prices go up and down. How prices goes up and down.
Hello.
Yeah, Sumit, you are not audible.
I'm saying in the market, who decides the price?
The buyers and the sellers.
So who decide the prices should go down or up is buyers and sellers, right?
Yes.
So if you have to put a barrier, what you should do simply is, what should you simply do? You should simply stop the buyers and sellers to talk and meet and discuss on price. Hello? Yes or no?
Yeah. You should
Right?
stop their orders from getting executed.
Yeah. Nobody can put orders, either buyers or sellers.
Yes.
So buyers and sellers, if both are silent, if you see, for example, in any stock, for example, let me open. So if for any particular thing there is no buyer in the market, what the girl, where is the girl? The only girl in the session now. There are two girls now. Three. Ritu is also there. Okay. Yeah, where is Sejal? Yeah. So Sejal, let's look at this market. So I don't like this website a lot, Money Control, but let's go to this website. You know, it is not exchange which decides the price, Sejal. It is the buyers and sellers who decide the price. Exchange, even after exchange deciding any price, if there is no buyer or seller, the movement in the price would not happen. I'll just show you. For example, this is a market, right? And in market, let's go to F&O market, future and options market, Sejal. Okay. Which market? Futures and
options.
And let's go into the product of options. And let's decide a company. Which is your favorite of these options available? Tell me. Apollo Tires is your favorite. Apollo Hospital is your favorite. AU Small Finance, Axis Bank, any name which you think is very good.
Bosch. Bosch. Huh? Let's go for Bosch.
Okay, let's go for Bosch. Yeah, where it is. Yeah, Bosch. Okay. Now choose the far extended expiries of March 2022 product is available, right? There are three products available. Either you can go and deal into a product which is going to expire on 27th January or 24th February or 31st March. Let's go for 31st March. An option type, let's go for any put option or call option. Let's go for call option. And let's see what is the current price going on. What is the current price going on for Bosch? 18,282. Okay. The exchange will provide you various options to enter into at a very strike price. Okay. Is closed or what? See, there are many strike prices which are there. Yes or no? Can you see these many prices which are given? What is the current price? 18,000. So on one extreme, it will be too much in the money option. On other extreme, it will be too much out of the money options. I don't know if you understand the meaning of all this, but it's okay even if you don't understand. Right now, because it's a put option, so 12,900 will be too much out of the money option. Let's search for this product. What happened on this Friday? What happens on this Friday? This particular option at this particular strike price, what is it showing us?
Not traded today.
The product is there, but there is no buyer.
Trading or
no
buyer,
seller.
Buyer seller.
The sellers and buyers are absent for this product. But if I change the strike price for the same product, if I change the strike price and I bring it near to the current price is 18,700, right? If I go to close to 18,300, you'll find the trade happen. For this. Oh, even for this also trade didn't happen, but let's choose the expiry date, which is the latest, which is closest. For that, trade should have happened. Put option only and choose for what is the price? 18,000 going on, right? 18,200. So what is the date? In
26.
January. Today is market close, so all the options will be shown like this only, but I'm surprised to see which
You can choose
company
another company.
yeah, but I'm sure इसमें भी होता है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता है. Why it is not happening? Obviously, if you would have looked in the during this market, no? During the market timing, if you would have looked, you would have found trading happen. Right now, maybe it's because obviously it is not traded today. Obviously, it is not traded today because today is Saturday and market is closed. But it should have been traded yesterday, right? But obviously, you got the message. It might happen that there are various products which are available for which trading wouldn't have happened. But generally, even if it is traded yesterday, it showed that. So 1950 price कितना 2400 चल रहा है. See. So this is traded. What strike price are we choosing the product to be? 2440. And what is the spot price going on? 2489, because they are close by and the date is also nearby. So these products are traded now. So the pricing can be there. Can you see the price coming over here? Or are you seeing the again same thing written over here, not traded today? It's the price which is showing, right? And this single days movement, 11% change is a single days movement. Okay. Basically, at the closing time of the market, January 14, right? And this got traded. So trading happened. Why? And who decided this price? The buyers and the sellers. If the buyers and sellers are not there, the product is there. The product is there, right? If you just look at the same call option at a different strike price, is it too in the money? Too much in the money. 1700 is too much in the money. Nobody would like to sell a product like this. Everybody would like to buy a product like this, but nobody would like to sell a product like this. So buyer is there, but seller is not there. Obviously, the trade can't happen, right? See, not traded today. Because it's too much in money, like call option 1700, too much in money. There is an immediate gain of what, 3 and 4, 789 rupees. If anybody buys this product, there is an immediate intrinsic value of 749. So anybody who's selling this is having an immediate loss of the same amount, because one body's loss is another body's gain, right? In a stock market, it's a zero sum gain. Are you getting what I'm saying? Stock market cycle is a zero sum gain. So it's only a buyer's loss, so it should be a profit for seller. If it is seller's loss, then it should be a profit of buyer. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah. So what is the situation over here? Here there is no trade which has happened. So putting circuit makes it what? When so putting circuit means right now the trade didn't happen over here. Why? Because the buyers and sellers are not ready. The buyers and sellers are not ready. The product is there. The market is there. Okay. But who is not ready? Whose wish is this? Buyers and sellers wish. Yeah. Buyers and sellers are not ready to trade. See, in all these different strike prices, no trade happened the entire day. Okay. But some strike prices trade has happened. For example, for this strike price of 1980, trade has happened. 4 contracts have, sorry, 200 contracts have been, is there, right? And it got sold at 4 rupees per contract per lot. Oh, strike price per share, it should be. A strike price per share. For 2120 also, trade happened, right? 200 contracts have been exchanged. Here, 6,400 contracts have been exchanged. But some strike prices, there is no trade. For some strike prices, there is trade happening. For all these strike prices, there is no trade happening, right? In the put side. In the call side, still there are some trade which have happened. So the entire like or dislike was of whom? It was based on whom?
Buyers
Buyers
and
and
sellers.
sellers. But on the opposite of it, here it is not the buyers and sellers who are deciding to trade in or not. It is actually who is doing this? This lower circuit, who is putting it? The regulator, and the regulator is not letting buyer and seller to trade. Are you getting what I'm saying? So they are forcing you not to trade. Even if you want to trade, who is forcing you not to trade?
Regulator.
Yeah. Why? Because the shift is too high. 20% in a single day. People do not, if you invest into FD, it will take 4 years to earn 20%. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you
Yes.
invest into FD, you will get, it will take how many years to get 20% return? 3.5 years to 4 years, right? And that what you can achieve in 4 years is something which is happening over here in how many minutes? In few seconds. Not reasonable, no? So, so what does it? So they call it circuit, and they put a circuit over here. Regulators put circuit over here to not let the buyers and sellers to trade. Okay. I hope now you are a little bit understood on this, Sejal.
Yes.
Sumit,
Yeah, Bhaskar.
ये तो तय है कि मार्केट ओपन होने के बाद ये होता है, बट इफ आई टेक द रेफरेंस ऑफ TTML, जिसका मार्केट ओपन होने से पहले ही अपर सर्किट हो जाता है या फिर लोअर सर्किट हो जाता है, वो कैसे डिसाइड होता है?
So market opens at what time? Market opens at what time?
9:30, but 9:15 to 9:30.
Yeah, so market for us market opens is 9:30, right? So we think everything happening, but a lot of book building starts just before. So I'll explain you the entire process. What happens between all these two times? Okay, I'll just have noted it down somewhere. Like you, somebody had asked this question, and I had created the notes of it so that it saves time for me in the next time when somebody asks this. Right? Just give me a second. I'll give the entire detail of it. So we think the market started what? 9:30. Few people who has more idea about market, they also know that market starts at 9:15 only. But nobody will tell you that market actually starts at what time? 9 o'clock only.
Okay.
So between 9 to 9:08, a lot of order comes. Order collection happens between 9 to 9:08.
Okay.
Then 9:08 again, there would be they would put a stop on the order collection. So market will start at 9 and exact in 8 minutes, the entire order collection will happen. The moment in the price of the shares would happen, and largely this would be institutional or large pocket size traders who would be putting orders of buy and sell in this market.
Okay.
Right? So at 9 to 9:08 itself, the order collection will happen. If you have an order to put for 1 lakh shares or 10 lakh shares, you would be able to do that at till 9:08. Again, 9:08, the market will halt. And in this halt, 9:08 to 9:12, what will happen? Order matching and trade confirmation will happen.
Okay.
So a lot of buy orders would have come and a lot of sell orders would have come. Accordingly, this is the time 9:08 to 9:04 minutes. The backend team would decide what the price is. So that is why they call it as equilibrium price determination, right? So in this 4 minutes, this equilibrium price determination will happen based on how many orders have come and how many orders for buy has come and how many orders for sell has come and what different respective prices, right? So that is why at 9:15 you already see a price which is different than the last day 3:30 close price.
Okay.
And we think that why at 9:15 only the price is changed when the market is to open at 9:30, right? So at 9:30 the trading should start from the price at which the market closed yesterday, right? But that is not the case. That is the case with 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock only the movement in the price will start happening, and between 9:08 to 9:12, one price, equilibrium price, would be decided based on that is 8 minutes of orders which have come. And 9:12 to 9:15 is a buffer period. Even with a lot of IT and great software and everything, anything can go wrong, right? So they keep a buffer of 3 minutes for them. It's like calling per minute, ready, steady, get, set, go, something like that, right? So this is the
Okay.
kind of buffer period they keep in the backend, 3 minutes. And then at 9:15, again, the order buying and order taking and everything starts.
Fine.
I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So at 9:15, if you will see, definitely you will see the price which would have already been different. At 9 o'clock, if you will see, you will find the price which is actually yesterday's price, yesterday's close price. Between 9 to 9:08, a lot of different orders would have come to them. So if somebody who is very bearish on this stock, and there is a reason why somebody would have been very bearish on this Hinduja stock, there is a reason for it, and why there is a reason why a lot of people got bullish on TTML and went for upper circuit. There's a reason, and all those good orders would have come at 9 only, right? Because the AGR dues is getting converted into equity by government, right? So it's a big push to the
Yeah.
company. And second, it's also said that the movement in the TTML is much higher than Vodafone, because in Vodafone, the parent company is not ready to take any sort of, not ready to extend any sort of help to its subsidiary. Vodafone PLC do not want to extend any help. It has made itself clear to the public that we will not help Vodafone India until unless Indian government help us, right? So that's a different thing. But in Tata's case, Tata has clearly said that we'll do everything in our power to keep TTML floating. So if Tata said that we'll do anything in our power, so who is to disagree with it, right? Because Tata has the huge corporate goodwill, right? And
Yeah.
we know that the corporate governance is of the extremely high level. And if Tata says, you have to agree, you can't deny. You may deny Reliance once, but you can't deny Tata ever, right? Because Tata has had that kind of reputation of
Yeah,
more than
they do commit
150
whatever
years.
that. Yes.
Even they would not mind making their own laws, but if they have, Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Aaye, Pran Jaye, Par Vachan Na Jaye. So they have that kind of philosophy, right? So
Yeah.
if they have made a promise, they would honor that promise, even if that results into loss, and they would bear the loss.
But recently,
So
GUI has already released the news that they are not going to do any kind of PSU things with these two companies. So
So the thing is, the positive news so far, which I am aware about, is this only, and I can show it to you. What government has said is done is their AGR dues were there, right? So government said that again the AGR dues of new dues of Vodafone Idea and teleservices, government will convert that AGR dues into equity, basically.
yeah.
So government will become shareholders of these companies. So now when AGR dues gets converted into equity, company will not have to, so this is not, the amount didn't remain as a liability, right? So company do not have to pay this liability, and liability were to the tune of 50,000 crore and a lakh crore and something like that. So if that much of
Yeah.
liabilities get washed away in single day, and you guys would have realized, right? In last 7 days or 10 days, you would have realized getting call from Vodafone Idea telling them to convert your Airtel or Jio into Vodafone. But I am observing it like in last 8 days I got 2 calls. In last 1 year I got 0 call, but in last 8 days I got 2 calls from Vodafone. So it seems that Vodafone is again into action. These are telltale sign basically that Vodafone Idea somewhere is again into action to gain some market which they have lost maybe in the last 1 or 2 years because of this old pending issue on them on AGR. Right, it has as this says, it has a truckload of AGR percentage shares dues to the pay to the government, and by the truckload I'm 50,000 crore rupees, and which I admit will probably need more than a single truck. So you can't put 50,000 in a truck, right? So you need to read these articles, but that is what even I didn't read the entire article, and I'm not following any of these two companies. Though I had one of my somebody had told me that yes, TTML when it was at a price of 25-30, that it's a good time to buy it a few months back. But I really do not go into all these rumors, and I do not put my money into any of the rumors, be it positive or negative. So that is my way of ethical investing. But yeah, the price has really run away from 25 to 275 now. So, and one of the biggest reason is this only, like, yeah, somewhere it would have been written that the conversion of the interest for the next 4 years into equity is a good thing. though temporarily, but it's a good thing, right? So you do not have to pay next 4 years interest, right? So there is too much, and on an amount of 50,000 crore, the interest will be too much. The effective debt is around 2 lakh crore. Will AGR dues will still be dues, and after 4 years they will need to continue to service their dues. A negative net worth company will find it difficult to get more debt, and Vodafone will need more money for all the 5G things they are coming, and that is why Vodafone's price not have gone that much high even after this positive news, right? Vodafone share price movement would have been just 10% at max. I
Yes,
believe,
10% was the higher.
right? So Vodafone, because their the challenge is at a different level itself, right? They are competing with the price movement is, yeah, there is more than okay. So for them also it is already 100% in last 6 months, right? It's not 10%. For them also the price has gone up by 100%, 111%. So I thought, but yeah, because these are single digit
This
shares,
is
so it
this
would
is
be.
had this is has happened when they declared the debt structuring. From that it has happened.
Or the period of last 6 months basically, or the period of
Yeah,
last
yeah.
6 months, 7 months, right? That is
Within
fine.
5 days they had a difference of 10%.
Okay. So in the period of 6 months, these two stocks have really run up, and there is a journey to read. I was reading this article before. As I said, like these days I'm not reading in the morning time, but otherwise by the time I come to session, all these are read. Whatever email and whatever subscription I have, I completely read it. This email had come 7, and still it is not read because I woke up at 6:30. 7:30 I was having my breakfast and all. So I was not able to read it properly. But yes, but you got this message, right? 9 to 9:8, 9:8 to 9:12, 9:12 to 15. There's a lot of already things which have happened by the time a retail investor like you and me enter into the market. A lot of things is already done and dusted, right?
Got it, Sumit, got it.
Okay, interesting. So this is what, yeah. Anything wanted to say? Anything? Yeah, Shajal, where were we? I forgot. Now we have been joined by Vatra and Shivani also. The Deep is also there. Great. Yeah, where were we, Shajal? So you also slept up. So basically, a lot of cash can be there with the company, and that cash can be invested by the company in any of these assets like mutual fund, direct equity, bond, debenture, startup, VC fund, and they would give complete disclosure of. For example, if let's take an example of Infosys. Okay, so if you open Infosys, the detail everything would be there in the annual report, basically. I'll have to put my charger right. First, let me open that. Here's the consolidated balance sheet page. Is it a balance sheet? 86. This is the ESG report, right? Yeah, this one can be. I was surprised to see 80 pages of report. Right? Infosys is such a big company; it should have 200 plus pages. Management discussion analysis. Yeah, these are the consolidated financial statements. Page number 212 onwards. We are on which page right now? We are in 200. Okay, so this is their cash flow statement. Let's look at their balance sheet first. Balance sheet would be on top. This is a profit and loss account, and this is the balance sheet. So here you'll find that they have noted down something as investment, right? Let's see, where is it? Non-current asset and in non-current liability, non-current current assets, current liabilities, it would be there. So in current assets and non-current assets, it would be there. Yeah. So in current assets, sorry, non-current assets, they have a category called financial assets. In financial assets, they have a category called investment, which they have described in note number 2.4. So now let's go to note number 2.4 to understand where this money is invested in. It's very cumbersome, right? Sometimes we feel that the pages the one which is into pages is good. 2.4 it said, right? We reach to 2.2. This 2.3. 2.2. Yeah. Okay. So here now. So where this money invested into? Look at it. This investments in invested where? Tax-free bonds, government bonds, right? Non-convertible debentures of some company and government securities, preferred securities and compulsory converted debentures. This would be some other company, privately, private company. Some private companies' money they would have invested into some private company because these are unquoted. Can you see unquoted? Something which is unquoted means what? The prices are not traded on daily basis. So basically, these would be some private companies' preferred shares and private companies' debentures they would have invested into. These are quoted, means securities for which prices changes every second, every day. Trading happens. So tax-free bonds, government bonds. Again, there's some unquoted debt. And these are some mutual funds. See, liquid mutual fund, certificate of deposit, fixed maturity plan securities. All these are investment in which an individual can also invest, other than this private one, preferred securities of a private company. Right? So liquid mutual fund, tax-free bond, and all. So where is this money invested? Now for detail of each of these unquoted. So where this money is invested into, you noted over here, right? Unquoted preferred shares. Have you noted this? Unquoted preferred shares and equity shares. So where this money invested, there for that also detail you will find. In the company Airways Inc. You can check. This would mostly be a private company. Whoop Inc. Niveti Systems Private Limited. This seems to be some Indian company because the price is at rupees in rupees. Here the price is at dollar, right? Tidal Scale, all these. You can check all these companies that they have invested into. All these companies. Stellar is venture partners. So basically, they have given money to a venture partner. Then effectively, a venture partner would be investing into private companies. Some money they have directly invested. Some money they have given to venture partners. Some companies they have invested into is Mera Spot Technologies, Global Innovation and Technology Alliance, Idea Foods Technology Private Limited, and they are invested into these bonds. IRFC 7.04, Power Finance Corporation. All these are tax. Some of them would be tax-free bonds. Some of them might not be. But yeah, and what is the return the bonds are promising? All these money is invested into all. Then some of the mutual fund schemes which they have invested into, for that also you will find the name. Aditya Birla, Sun Life Cash Manager, Sun Life Corporate Bond Fund, Sun Life Liquid Fund, all this. Then so good companies would be giving full disclosure. They will not just stop saying that I have invested that much of money into mutual fund. They will give you proper name of those funds, BlackRock and all, at what price he has invested into and what is the current price going on. All these things would be clearly told to you in the annual report. The only pain is for shareholders to do what? Huh? What is the pain for shareholders to do what? Hello, guys?
To go
What is the
through,
pain the shareholders have to do?
Go through
study,
all
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
go in
you need to go
detail.
through this. Yeah, it is written there. You need to really go through it, and you need to go basically as you rightly said. So like this were non-current investment. Similarly, there would be some current investments also for them, or for that the segment would be different. It can be 2 point something. Some note number would be there, which you can check in balance sheet. the note number would be there, and you go and check that note number. There you'll find the distribution of current investments, where they have invested the current investments, the investment which they have done for a period of less than a year, right? And a lot of these things you will definitely get. So I told you how to find it. Now it's your way of looking at it, how you actually want to read it. Yeah. Okay. So what are we talking about, guys, is this, that you need to understand that companies can also do all these mutual fund investing, direct equity, bond, startup, VC funds, everything can be done by company also. But all these would be categorized and should be categorized at what? Non-operating asset. Why? Because company is investing extra cash into this. Why is this extra? We were on that question, Sajal, right? Why it is extra, and tell me, why are we categorizing this cash as extra? Why is this extra? Why are we categorizing?
Because that particular cash is not required as of now for the operating purpose.
For the business, it is not required. What is
Yeah,
the
as
business
of now.
Colgate?
Hello.
And selling toothpaste, right?
Yes.
Maybe right now in manufacturing and selling toothpaste or toothbrushes, they are not requiring that money. So they are
Yes.
putting and considering this cash as extra. And who does it belong? Ultimately, who does this cash belong to?
Shareholders.
Shareholders. So obviously, what should they do?
They should return to the shareholders.
That is something.
Ideally, they should do, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Because they may have requirement which they may have some requirements, right? But it ultimately belongs to shareholders. So what we try to say over here, what we are trying to say over here, if ultimately this extra cash needs to be invested in any of these assets, then let the shareholders decide now. Let the shareholders decide which mutual fund they want to invest. Yes or no?
Hmm.
So what was the reason for fall of this Hinduja's stock price? You know, why it fell 20%? Why it fell 20% in a single day? Because see, Hinduja Global Solution had sold a company. So it is they carved out a company, a particular division. So Hinduja Global Solutions would be serving to multiple divisions. One of the divisions is healthcare, and they carved out this healthcare division and they sold it in the open market at a price of 1.2 billion or something. Okay, so somewhere around 10,000 crore, for example. Okay, somewhere that price, you can check the fine detail of it. It can be 7,000 or 8,000 crore rupees. For that, they sold it, and that results into 3,500 to 4,000 rupees per share. If you distribute that of money, whom does this money belong to? If you sold one of the particular segment, who does the money belong to? Tell me. Who does the
Again,
money
the
belong to?
shareholders.
Shareholders. Yeah. So if you divide that entire money by the number of shares, it comes around 3,500 to 4,000 rupees per share. Right? And what is the current price going on? 3,500 also. So a company should have given on each share, the company should have given a dividend of how much? A special dividend of how much? 3,500 to 4,000. But what company declared was just 150 rupees of dividend, special. How much?
150.
So only 150 rupees. So shareholders were what? Furious. Shareholders were what? They were furious. Right? It's natural, right? They were furious and they said, how come when as a management you received 3,500 to 4,000 rupees per share, why are you not giving the entire cash of 35,000 to 4,000 to us, who are the ultimate owner of this cash? And why are you just giving a peanut out of it? Right? So that is why the share price and shareholders were furious, and that is why they penalized. And after that, Hinduja came up with a statement to the public that they would use this cash to give back to the shareholders and also for further expansion into new business segment. But they would give this cash to shareholders in a more tax effective manner. So dividend, dividend you get tax, right, at the same rate at which you are eligible. So if somebody falls in a 30% tax bracket, dividend would be taxed at 30%. Somebody falls in the 10% tax bracket, dividend would be taxed at 10%. It would be taxed as your normal income. So they are saying we are going to come up in a more tax effective manner. And one of the manner they said that one of the tax effective manner is buyback, right? Because in buyback, for example, you bought the share at 2000 and company is buying that share back in 2500. So what is your gain? You're not have to pay tax on 2000. You have to pay tax on 500 only.
Yes.
And that too, depending on how long you held the stock. If you held the stock for more than 1 year, you would be paying a tax of 10%. And if you held the tax stock for less than 1 year, you'll have to pay tax at short-term capital gain, which is 15%, something like that, right?
Mm.
So it's more tax effective buyback. So they said that we would come up with some, with respect to paying out this cash of 3500 to 4000, we'll come up with something like 2000, buyback. And would they give the entire cash in the form of buyback? I guess no. They said few of it they would held it to because they have some acquisition plan. So recently they came up with this notice in the market yesterday, I guess. ₹1,000 crore of buyback that mean, I guess. Yeah. So they said they would do the 1,000 crore of buyback. We'll use 1,000 crore rupees for buyback, and rest of the money they would use to acquire new businesses. One, they already said that they would acquire the digital business of NXT Digital with issue shares only. Now the share price of HGS will fly. So obviously now the clarity is there, right? So this has come. I don't know when. Let's see. I guess yesterday evening only this news came. 5 minutes ago only, 10 or 5 minutes ago. So yesterday evening only this news came, right? So yeah. So let's see. After this clarity, now the stock price can go up and down. We don't know. But yeah, now the clarity is there. So earlier, why 20% fall happened, guys? Why 20% fall happened? Because shareholders were very furious on what? That how come company received that much of cash and paid only 150 rupees of dividend. But now the positivity has come again back. Why? Because Hinduja has cleared that they would use this cash in a rewarding the shareholders in a more tax effective manner, and dividend is never a tax effective manner. One of the tax effective manner is what? Buyback, and they are going to do buyback, and then they are giving more clarity that the rest of the money they are going to use for acquisition, right? Are you guys getting what I'm saying, or is it just I'm talking to myself below?
No, Sumit, getting it.
Yes, Sumit, it's clear. We are getting it.
So this is what it is, right? So yeah. So you can get that copy of notice on BSC's website, I guess. But for that, we have to search it with the right name, basically. But the copy is there somewhere on the BSC India. You can check it. Notice. Okay. Yesterday evening it only. Now coming back to this. So shareholders can decide where to put that money, obviously, rather than a company decide. Because Colgate as a company is also something which shareholders decided now that we should put our money into Colgate. Now, why do shareholders decide to put money into Colgate? So that they can take advantage of a company which is very good toothpaste manufacturer, right? Right? Hello? Yes or no?
Yeah, Sumit. Yeah.
But on the other hand, are they investing into IIFL Finance? Hello? Are they investing this money into IIFL Finance? Are they investing into this money into Colgate? Hello? Which company are they investing into? Colgate, right? But if Colgate start behaving like IIFL Finance, why? Because Colgate start investing this money into mutual fund and giving it as loan to government and all. Whose function is that? A finance company's function is that, right? So if I am choosing a company like IIFL Finance, I would see what? I would see that the company is good in identifying good mutual funds and investing the money into good mutual funds or giving the money to right people to earn maximum interest. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hello, guys.
Yes,
I
yes.
would want the this kind of functions to be done by IIFL Finance, not by Colgate. If I'm giving the money to Colgate, I would expect the Colgate to make best of the class of toothpaste and sell it. And when I'm giving the money to IIFL Finance, I would expect the company to find the best of the parties to give loan to and make interest profit in the form of interest, right?
Yes.
But if Colgate starts behaving like IIFL Finance, would I like it as a shareholder?
No. I may not
No, I
like.
should not. And that is why if valuing a company like Colgate, I should value it at what? At its operating capabilities. If its operations are giving me some value, then I should go and buy it. If it is non-operating activities is giving me some value, I should not get too much. I should not get too much. Hello? Positive on that. Yes or no?
Yeah.
For example, an export company, regularly having 20 crore rupees of profit since last 2 years or 3 years, suddenly had a profit of 100 crore rupees. And you get curious, yes or no? How come a company which was making a profit of 20 crore rupees generated 100 crore rupees of profit? And you will find out, will like to find out the reasons. Now, one of the reasons, for example, one of the probable reason can be what? The company receives a huge export order, yes or no? A huge export order. And the company fulfills that at a very great margin, at a very great margin. And the second reason is significant devaluation or depreciation of Indian currency. This can be one of the reasons, right? A export company having a huge realization in the form of profit can be two things, guys. One is they had a huge export order at a very great margin and they got good margin and made a lot of profit. Or second can be what? They are receiving the same revenue which they were receiving in the last 3 years also. But this time, while converting the dollar revenue into rupee, because Indian currency was highly depreciated, they realized more cash for the same dollar. Can that happen? Hello? Can that happen? Hello? Can that
Definitely.
happen with
Definitely.
an
So.
economy?
Yes, yes.
It can happen, right? It can happen that in one particular year, currency is depreciated to a level from 50 rupees a dollar, it goes to 75 rupees a dollar. Suddenly, you expected it or not, your cost and everything is already in INR, so that remains the same. But because you are receiving revenue in dollar, for the same dollar, you receive 50% more cash, right?
Yeah.
So all that cash flows into your profit. For example, you used to receive 100 rupees of revenue and your cost was 20 and that is how you were earning 20 rupees of profit. Suddenly in place of 100, how much cash you are receiving? 150, right? 150. Because why? Because dollar going from 50 to 75. So per dollar you are having 50% more realization. So you are having 150, but your cost remains 80 only. So what would be your profit? 70, yes or no? Right? So suddenly the entire profit increase in the revenue would go where? Profit. So what should be your logic of buying the company? Would you get impressed by a company getting a huge increase in profit because of a high export order, or because of significant devaluation or depreciation of Indian currency? What should be the logic for buying a company?
So if the company gets higher order,
Because if company getting higher order is something which is sustainable, because this is business, right? So
yes,
if they can complete get a high order and they complete that order, what is the reputation they build in the international market? So there was this company called PSP project. Till 2017, the company was doing an order size of 100 crore rupees average. Suddenly, they got a huge order from US, Surat Diamond Balls, and they got an order to construct a Surat Diamond market for 3,000 crore rupees, for 3,000 crore rupees. Is it something which they got extraordinarily large order? And yes or no? Seeing the capabilities or historical capabilities of a company like PSP Project, which has excellence of making something up to a cost of how much? 100 crore rupees. So isn't it something which is very huge they got?
yes,
Yes.
30 times.
Now, if they
Higher,
complete it, what will happen? They will send a word in the market that PSP project is capable enough to not only look at a small rupee size contract, but they can do large rupee size contract also, right? And if they do not do it successfully, what will happen? If they do not do it successfully, then what will happen? Then it would result into a opposite of reputation, right? It would be negatively, the goodwill will be negatively impacted, right? And people will say, no, this is a small scale project oriented company only, one should not give large one. Now, because they have done successfully this project, now they got another project from UP government to the worth of 1,500 to 2,000. So in 3 years, from 2017 to 2021 or 22, just starting 2021 is completed, right? In 3 years now, their reputation has gone well. Now people are saying that on an average PSP project capabilities to manage project is not of 100 crore rupees, but on an average they are managing somewhere around 600 to 700 crore rupees of project. So they have upscaled themselves. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes. Yes. Sumit.
So it's a reputation which you build if you do something extraordinary for you, and you get more. So yeah. So from at the issue price, because the IPO had come in 2017 only. So from the issue price of 2017, it has given almost a 128% return. The returns have been volatile because you need to understand it's a construction company. So this volatility would always be there. And largely this volatility had come largely from, if you would be able to see, it is from where? Which period the volatility has come or the downfall had happened? Coronavirus, right? And it was obvious. It had obvious reason, yes or no? Because during coronavirus, you expect the construction company to fall, yes or no? Because laborers and think because of which if you remember the news, laborers and were not had to go back to their hometown, and there was a large scale exodus from cities to villages, because of which this disease also went from cities to villages. Otherwise, the disease wasn't there for the first 3 months. There wasn't a single case in the villages or small places of the country, right? But there was too much of movement because labor couldn't sustain, and a lot of these construction companies stopped paying daily wages. Laborers live on daily wages, right? And if you're not receiving daily wages, how would you sustain? So there were all kind of news back then into March and April 2020, right? Regarding labors only. It was a huge issue if you guys were following news. So obviously this fall was there, but even after that, they have come back, and still from the issue price, I don't know what was the issue price, but from the listing price, it's already a 131% gain. From the issue price, we don't know what the issue price. You can always check and go back. But it gave them what? If they have successfully completed, they took something which was beyond their capability as a market knowledge. They internally have their other. See, as an individual, you have a different way of looking at your capabilities. But how an outsider will look at your capabilities based on how you have performed so far. So general market was thinking that PSP project is a small company with the capability of a small construction project.
But PSP inside would have realized that now they have capabilities to do larger project, and that is why they would have watched for it and they would have got it. But how would market get to know once they do it successfully? If they do not do it successfully, it will give a lot of negative reputation. If they do it successfully, the market, the company's picture in the terms of market would change. Yes or no, guys? This is all psychology. Yes or no?
Yes, Sumit.
Yeah. So if this reason of increase in profit was because of export order at a very high margin, this is what we consider as sustainable. And if that is the case, you should go and buy the company. Yes or no? But if the reason is significant devaluation, depreciation of Indian currency, should you really appreciate the company? No, it is not something which has happened because of some company's qualities. It is because of some external factors it has happened. And that is why it is not very sustainable. Not every year RBI is not fool now. RBI is not fool now that it will let the Indian currency go depreciate every year. Yes or no? Huh?
Yes.
Why we in which way of regiment we are living? Let me show you. In which regiment are we living? Are we living in a system where the exchange rates are completely decided by market? Hello, are we living in that regiment? No. In India, what system goes with respect to exchange currency system? Hello, we are living in something called as dirty floating rate system. Something called as what? Managed floating rate system. So if Indian rupee currency falls against dollar to a little something which is not acceptable to RBI, what will happen? RBI will intervene, right? So the first RBI would let the market forces decide exchange rate, but the government and central bank, which is RBI of the country, will intervene where in the currency market if there is wild fluctuation and high volatility beyond their limits. Yes or no? So we are living in this currency system. So knowing this, can RBI let the currency of Indian currency, let the currency fall by such high margin, 20%, 30% every year? Hello? No. They would let it happen to certain percentage, maybe 5% up, down, 7% up, down. But beyond that, what will happen? RBI will ask its subordinates, official subordinates, unofficial subordinates like SBI Bank and all this. All these are puppets of RBI. They have to be, right, because it's like just because these are government banks, right? So RBI will command SBI will and tell that start buying or selling the treasury into the treasury market and do open market operations, something like that. Just to with respect to foreign exchange bonds, right? Foreign currency bonds, so that the demand of dollars and would either fall or rise in India. Accordingly, the currency would get stabilized. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys? Do you understand this? I know foreign exchange is not part of our course, but I'm just trying to give you a perspective over here. Do you get this? Tell me. Hello, guys.
Yes, Sumit.
Taijal, are you getting what I'm saying, right?
Yes, Sumit.
This wide variation or fluctuation can't happen. Bhaskar, are you getting what I'm saying? Hello.
Yeah,
This
Sumit.
wide fluctuations, RBI can't tolerate. You need to understand RBI would intervene, right? We are not in US. US, GBP, Euro, Japan, Swiss, all these currencies are under which system? Free floating system, where the market would decide the exchange rate based on the demand and supply. You will not find the RBI, the central bank of these countries or currencies intervene. But Indian currencies are not like that. In Indian currency, you have what system? Managed floating. Floating is allowed. Supply and demand forces would be allowed to decide the currency rate, but to an extent. And what is that extent? Central bank will never tell you what is that extent to which they can tolerate. They will never tell you in public. But we know, and everyone knows this thing, that still they do not tell that what is their percentage tolerance. But beyond the limit, they would come and intervene and stabilize the volatility. Whereas in crawling peg system, you will find Chinese currency. Which is Chinese currency?
Chinese yuan.
Chinese yuan. So there they have clearly told in publicly, they have told what is their tolerance level. That can be 1% or 2% up and down, whatever that is, that keep on changing based on the government's tolerance level or the central bank tolerance level. But there they have decided the tolerance level, and that is why it is called as crawling peg. They let the market to decide go up and down, but to an extent only. Beyond that, they cannot let that happen. They would with the public information, they would intervene in the market and they would stabilize. And what is their tolerance level, they decide. In India, the tolerance level is not declared, but still everybody knows that beyond a certain point, RBI would not let the currency to fall or go up. Right? Yeah. So is it sustainable? No, having this knowledge as an investor, would you think that this is sustainable, that the company would keep making a lot of profit based on depreciation and devaluation of Indian currency? Hello? Is it sustainable? Tell me.
No.
No. Right. So what is the crux? Tell me. I'm trying to give you different case studies. What is the crux of all this? Tell me. What is the crux? In simple language, what is the crux of all this? Tell me. Yeah, Shravan, go ahead. Tell me, what is the crux of all this?
Yeah, so the crux of all this is when so we have to evaluate a company's performance based on its operating. We have to give more weightage, in fact, or most of the weightage to the operating performance, operating income, operating loss, rather than the non-operating ones, because the non-operating ones are, not in the those are not like in which direction the company is going to go forever. The main business is main business. We have to focus on that. If the main business is growing, then it is positive for us. But if the financials are growing because something is happening in the non-core, then we need to take that into consideration, before getting very positive or going gung-ho and trying to, say that, okay, the company's value is, the company is undervalued. If we could take into consideration all the non-core income as well, then we might end up valuing the company at a higher end, and we might end up thinking that, okay, the company is, underpriced, let's buy it. So vice versa can also happen. So that's why
It's all about sustainability, right?
Yes.
So you can't expect a company like Colgate to become a fund manager, right?
correct.
Because these are discretionary managers, right? They know how to do marketing of their products. The management would be knowing how to do marketing of the products, but you can't expect the management to start become a stock picker.
Correct.
Investing into
It's not their core business.
Yeah. So that is what it is, guys. And that is why you should look at free cash flow to firm, which comprise of the cash flows which needs to go to the shareholders and the debt holders both. But basically, the journey would start from where? The journey would not start from the net cash flow. The journey would start from where? Operating cash flow. You need to understand this. This whole reason of giving you these many case studies and these many examples is not to. I know you would have found that I'm digressing from the topic, but I'm not at all digressing from the topic. I'm just trying to tell you different scenarios so that it looks practical to you and not give some gyan which is pure theoretical. I'm trying to give some practical, and it's a loss for those who are not joining our session. Okay, tell them this is something which you are losing because these are not regular names which you would be listening. I don't know if you before today you were aware about a company called SGS. Were you about Hinduja Global Services, or were you about I know PSP project is again? I'm not sure. Like Shravan is a stock market, so Shravan might be knowing PSP project. But you tell me, Bhaskar, were you aware about a company called
PSP projects. This is the first time I'm listening to.
Right, and Hinduja also, Hinduja Global Services. It's not that popular, demand. So
Yes,
these are
even
not the
I
companies
have
which.
not heard of it, of these names, because I even have started only, right?
Okay,
So,
okay. So yeah, I know a little bit of interest is yours is there, Shravan, in the stock market. So I assume that there's a chance that you can know, but still not many people, because
yes,
I'm not talking about Colgate, Infosys, and all, right? I'm talking about the companies which generally investor do not look at, who is not part of it and who is just a mutual fund investor or who is not a stock market follower. So that's why, guys. So I just tried to give an example to make you understand that
The journey in a DCF valuation should not start from free cash flow, any random cash flow from financing activity, or net cash flow from all the three activities, that is financing and investing and operating. It should be purely from which portion? It should be purely coming. The journey should start from where? Operating cash flow. The cash flow which a business is going to generate from where? From its, because in operating cash flow you do not include investment income, right? Even if there is investment income, you do what? You subtract that, yes or no? You deduct that, yes or no? If there is any operating income in the profit, you deduct that to reach to operating cash flow. And if you forgot that, you can have a look again over here. All the investment income, what did you do with that? You reduce that from the profit to reach where? In your journey to reach from profit to cash flow from operation, you are reducing what? Any investment income. Why? Because investment income is not an operating income. Hello? It's a non-operating income. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys? Hello? Similarly, if you have paid any interest, that also would be added back over here. If there is any non-operating expense you are doing, that would also be added back over here, right? Non-operating expense. But here, the non-operating expense wasn't there. Why? Because the company is completely debt-free. The company is completely debt-free. If there was any debt in the company, you would have added back interest over here and you would have reduced it at the right place. So all this investment income is the non-operating activity, and that is why you would categorize as well cash flow from investing activities, and it is there. It is where you would add it. You show it as a cash inflow, but under the right heading. And similarly, if you are paying any interest, it would be shown as where cash flow from financing activity, right? So yeah, it is this, and that is why you cash flow from operations is a pure cash flow generated by the business from what? From operating activities. Are you with me on these, guys?
Yes, Sumit.
Yes. Only thing is, only one doubt I have regarding interest expense. कि उसको मतलब बिजनेस रन करने के लिए हम लोग जो पैसा लिए हैं उस पे हम ब्याज चुका रहे हैं, तो वो भी इसको लिया जाएगा ऑपरेटिंग में, नहीं लिया?
No. So a business can be run within, see, you need to understand an investor can have various objectives to look at business. An investor is, for example, Tata. Now it's looking at a company, for example, it's looking to acquire a company, for example, Maruti. Okay? Or you can pick any small company which is debt oriented. Any company which is debt is there and it's small in size, which comes to mind. Any company, guys? Any company which has debt in his book and it's small in size.
Cafe Coffee Day.
Okay, Cafe Coffee Day, right? Now, this is target company. Okay. Now you need to understand, Tata, when it becomes an investor, it can decide its capital structure the way it wants. So right now, Cafe Coffee Day have too much of debt and very low equity, right? But if Tata wants to buy 100% of Cafe Coffee Day, it can buy 100% of Cafe Coffee Day, and in the capital structure, it completely deletes debt and remains only equity, which is itself. Yes or no? Tell me, can it do that change or not in the capital structure of the company? Are you getting what I'm saying? As a new promoter of the company, it can completely waive off or completely clean up or eat away the debt, and it remains only equity shareholders. Can it do it or not? Tell me. Do Tata have that wherewithal to do it or not?
Yes.
Yeah, and it can do it, and it's its own business of Starbucks, right? And there were talk goings on with respect to Tata buying CCD. So good, you named it CCD. But think about it. So if Tata is buying CCD, would it be really bothered about if the capital structure of CCD is debt or equity or anything? You need to understand that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Should it be bothered that CCD has how many stores? What is the footfall?
Yes, they would be
What is the goodwill?
Concerned regarding the retail
What
presence
is
of
the
CCD.
kind of coffee?
What is the following of its taste? Like people are following for Starbucks. Similarly, are there people who kind of follow only CCD? What is the location? What are the prime location at which CCD stores are there? Because, for example, if you go to metro station of Delhi, metro station of Delhi, and you get down at the Rajiv Chowk. I don't know if what is the situation right now, but when I used to travel in 2014 to 2018. 2014 to 2018, I used to travel for my work purpose, and Rajiv Chowk is a place where I used to get down every day twice. In the morning, I used to go from Malviya Nagar to Rajiv Chowk, and in the evening, wherever I used to be, if I was in Noida or in Ghaziabad or any other place, I would come back because those were the areas I was looking into. Noida, Ghaziabad, Faridabad, these were the areas I was looking into. So I used to come down for where even I'm in Kashmiri Gate or whatever the location I'm into, I will come down to Rajiv Chowk again, and I will go back to my place at Malviya Nagar, where I used to live, which is South Delhi. Right, so it was everyday's thing. Now, if you are familiar with this structure of Rajiv Chowk, which is basically nothing but CP, if you have to go to CP area, you have to get down to Rajiv Chowk. And also Rajiv Chowk is a central point where you can change the line from from yellow to blue and blue to yellow and all. So yeah, so if you are into this structure, what will happen is this, that you'll get down to this, and the only place where you can really chill out is CCD. That's the only place where you can really sit and have coffee. And CCD is kind of a large format store there. Anybody aware about this? I don't know if it is no more there, but it used to be there during the period of 2014-18. Are you guys aware about it? Anyone from Delhi is aware about it? So if you, for example, try to understand if your girlfriend is coming from Ghaziabad, Vaishali Nagar, and you are coming from some other location. So that's the midpoint. And she's running for half an hour late. So the best is, rather than moving around here and there, most of the people travel by metro. Why? Because most of the people fall in this. Because you need to understand this. Why most of the people would travel by metro is very simple. Because most of the people will fall in this pyramid. They will fall in this segment, right? That is why it is too bulky. You can't fall in this pyramid, and you can say the whole country is in this portion of the pyramid. It would in today's world, it would be what, 10%, not more than 10%, right? So 90% of the people, by choice or by force, they have to travel by metro. Yes or no? Hello, guys, does it make sense?
Yes.
Right. So that's where this becomes the best location for you to wait for your girlfriend or your boyfriend.
Basically, Rajiv Chowk.
Sitting in the city in Rajiv Chowk, sitting in CCD. So CCD, whenever you go to this Rajiv Chowk CCD station, CCD, you will find the CCD is always full. The CCD is always full. During this time, I'm talking about 12 to 14 to 18, because a lot has happened after 14 to 18. And I have not been in a job which requires me to travel anymore. It was 14 to 17 or even 18. Yeah. It's always full. So if you have a property at a store like this, obviously you are going to make a lot of money. Yes or no? And the nearest CCD then would be, you go out of Rajiv Chowk metro station and you get out, and it will be a journey of 1 kilometer and 1.5 kilometer. Going for 1.5 kilometer to really look for another CCD, whatever is available in that CCD, you'll go and buy. Obviously, they were not charging very high price, but if they want to take advantage, they can take advantage also. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys? So this is what the Tata would be interested in. Tata would not be interested into Shravan that is CCD is running on equity or debt, because as an investor, it can go and completely wipe out its debt, and the way it wants to set its structure, it can set. It has all the freedom to do that. Are you getting what I'm saying? So capital structure is a choice of an investor, but the promising thing which should come out from that business model is what? It's operations. So if operations is great, doesn't matter. See, if you are performing well in the exam, doesn't matter in the class if you are a naughty student or if you are a very non-naughty. Because if you are performing, if you are scoring 98% and you are naughty, People will like it. People will actually start liking it. You will see people will like it to an extent that this is the best guy. He always sits in the last bench. No, he always sits in the last bench and always chit-chatting in the class, always passing comments on people, always teasing people, and still he is scoring 98%. I'm telling you, Shravan, all the girls will be behind this guy. As compared to someone who always remain as an introvert, never speak in the class, very shy, but scored 95% and very diligent and very studious and everything. Which one you like? You'll always like this person who is naughty, and because this is like Lord Krishna, right? Even Lord Krishna was like this. That is why there is so much of following of Lord Krishna. He'll do all the mastis. He'll do all the fun.
The end result is nobody wants the boring one.
This guy is boring, right? This guy is boring. So, but if it is a class where everybody is naughty and everybody is scoring 53%, in that class, if you have to choose between the one which is that it is not actually Krishna, then it is naughty and scoring 53%, and everyone is like this, and there is someone who is boring and silent and then and is scoring 95%. Who would you choose? You would choose obviously the boring one.
Boring one.
So it depends on the industry and everything. See, if I am into if I am looking for a player in a steel industry, heavy capex industry. If I am looking a player for investment into aircraft, airplane industry, and I am not Tata, by the way, okay, the airline industry, I would because everyone like in airline industry would be under this category. Only one would be in the category of boring. And everyone, other than this is Spice Jet, there's too much of a spice in it. There's Jet Airways, and the Kingfisher, which is no more there, but still it was there, right? So a lot of these companies were there, but they're running a lot of debt, but they're naughty, and their score is 33%. Whereas there's this guy who's boring, but still very efficient and scoring 95%. And I would stand by this guy.
Plastic ka chair, sir.
Yeah, then in this case, it is behaving like Lord Rama. You need to understand. Right? Very boring, Adarshwadi, right? Rule.
Everything
follower.
is fine with Indigo, but I don't like their plastic chairs.
No, so whatever it is, but you can say everything is good about Ram, but I don't like what he did with Sita in the end, right? Because ultimately, what Ram made Sita to do is Sita had to live in a vanvas, right, in a jungle, while they say Ram was living in Mahal. Mahal. What is the English word for Mahal? Saijal? Rama was living where in?
Palace.
Oh,
What do you say?
palace.
Palace. Yeah. What he was living
Actually,
in palace, right?
Sumit, there is a difference between two Ramayanas. The Ramayana wrote by Balmiki has
chalega.
no
See,
mention
so,
about
chalega.
this part.
Okay,
There is no mention.
chalega, but there's this one Ramayana which talks about this also, right? And it is a popular story that Sita
Yeah.
lived in jungle, and all these Ramayana which you have seen in the format of which comes to the TV, right? In that
So
Ramayana, you will
this is the
find
Tulsidas
Ram
one.
living,
So
yeah.
who has translated the Sanskrit Ramayana into the normal language like Hindi and local languages. And from that onwards, we get to know that Sita means had to go to the Banvas and all. In actual Ramayana, there is no part at all.
So that's what problem I'm talking about, Bhaskar. What is actual and what is non-actual is something which is history, which only God knows. We don't know.
Yeah.
We can all fall into that debate where I say, no, the actual Ramayana is one where Sita goes to Vanvas, and you can say, no, the actual Ramayana is one where Sita doesn't go in Vanvas. You need to understand. This is all interpretation of people, right? That is the same thing about Indigo. You can say, yeah, I don't like the seat and everything, but ultimately the price point at which Indigo sells and the efficiency with which Indigo sells, no one else can do it. No one can stand by it, right? So yeah, because you like it or not, but that's the only choice you have. I get what I'm saying.
Yes, Sumit.
Yeah. So then, yeah, it becomes drama all of a sudden. But yeah, the whole point is this, that yes, if there are many naughty people and still there is some, but in this industry, if somewhere is very naughty and still performing the same, if not more, you would choose the naughty one. Why? Because then in that case, that gives you what? That gives you what? Higher ROE, guys, higher ROE realization. Suddenly the story changes. That gives you what? Spice. It enhances the performance of a company. So there are two companies, everything is good. 1 lakh rupees of revenue. The capital structure of this company, debt, equity. The capital structure of this company is 50,000 debt, 50,000 equity. Atisha, remember? Atisha, guys, I took this example already, I guess, right? I'm repeating it. But if you remember this example, I'll just perform it. And another one is Atisha, another one is, for example, Bhaskar, right? And you are having no debt, zero debt, boring kind of
That was
personality.
Shravan and Atishay. Shravan.
Let's make it Bhaskar and Atisha now. So Bhaskar is more like boring person in the class. Let me write the name also. Atisha is more like youthful and taking a lot of risk and all, right? But it's actually true. Atisha hardly speaks. So it can be ulta also. But whatever. Atisha is taking debt and equity also. Revenue, everything is same. Bhaskar is on Lord Rama's rule. No debt. Completely equity, highly boring. What will happen? Revenue. Okay. Cost. Cost is also same. 50,000. 50,000. So gross profit will be what? Gross profit will be what? Yeah. For here also gross profit will be same. Right? Then comes operating expenses. For example, 2,000. What would be EBIT? 48,000, right? Now, what will happen? Atisha will have to pay interest, yes or no? You like it or not, Atisha will have to pay interest. For example, interest rate is 10%. What is the rate of interest? 10%. So what is the interest which Atisha will pay? Guys, you are alive or dead? Tell me quickly.
Yeah, 10% on the 50,000.
Yeah, 5,000. Will Bhaskar pay any interest? No interest. No interest. There is no debt, right? So then comes the EBT. That come tax. Yeah. For example, tax rate is 25%. Then come PAT. Now, who made higher profit? Bhaskar made higher profit. Atisha make lesser profit, right? But still, if you are equity investor into this company, you will find for you the ROE percentage is how much? 64.5%. And for Bhaskar, if you are invested into this company, for you the return on money is how much?
36%.
So who is better? Hello? Who is better? Suddenly, if everything is going with the same, and that's what I'm saying. If the person who is the teacher in the class, who is the culprit and who makes fun and who do a lot of chill and sit in the last bench, but still at the end of the day, what he's doing is performing 98% alone. He's performing with 98% marks, and here this guy who's like Lord Rama and very silent and boring kind of person, and everything is otherwise everything is fine, but he's scoring only 95%. Who would you like to be associated with? Hello? Who would you be like to associate with me? The writing is on the wall. Hello? Who would you be like to associate with me? Tell me.
The first one.
The first one, because there you get the chances to make higher, excellent profits, right? As an investor, because investors get highly rewarded. So it depends. A lot of things goes into it. Shravan, I know you asked a very simple question. I gave a very long, whatever explanation. But I hope you understand the logics over here, I believe. Yeah. So when you're there or you slept, I don't know, it was a long example.
Yes, sir.
Understood. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what is the capital structure is for someone who is planning to invest 100% of the company is, because capital structure can always change and can be this. So so that is why you take into consideration operations, and in operations, capital structure is not a thing. It's capital structure is always a financing activity. So there is a clear cut structure. I know there are three activities, right? Operating, investing, and finance. So financing, if you're paying interest and all, you do not consider this an operating activity. Okay. Yeah. Coming back to, so you start with this and then you deduct what? CapEx out of it, right? Why CapEx? Why do we deduct CapEx? And you need to understand, we are not deducting any general investment. Company would be doing a lot of long-term, short-term investment into mutual fund and all. Are we interested into that? No, because we are purely interested into operation. But operation can never perform without this in place. Yes or no? This has to happen for operations to perform. Yes or no? Tell me quickly. CapEx has to happen for operations to perform. Tell me yes or no. So if you don't have machinery, can you manufacture goods? Hello? If you don't have machinery, can you manufacture goods?
No. No.
Saijal says no. Atishay, what about you? Hello? Atishay, if you don't have machinery, can you manufacture goods, Atishay?
No.
I don't know, you are young, you can do magic, but still.
No.
No, right? You can't. Right? And if you don't have machinery, you can't manufacture goods. If you can't manufacture goods, you cannot fulfill the orders. Right? And if you can't fulfill the orders, can there be revenue? If there is no revenue, forget about the operation or operating cash flow. Yes or no? The only tap from which cash flow comes into the business is revenue. If revenue is not there, what to talk about operating cash flow and non-operating cash flow and all? This all is a foolish talk, right? There's no point, baseless talk, right? So revenue has to be there in order to have the discrimination of cash flow based on operating and non-operating, right? But if revenue itself is not there, what to talk about? If the tap is closed, what to talk about the color of the water, guys? If the tap is not there, is it really matter if the color of the water is red or blue? Would you be able to identify it? Never, because the tap is not there. If tap is there, the water will flow. Then only you'll be understand if the color of water is blue or black or green or red, right? So you need to understand that capex is something which is very integral for the business to perform. And only capex, so company can have various other investing activities, but only capex is something which is considered as kind of something which is reliable or on which operations is reliable. So capex is something which you need to consider as a reasonable cash outflow. Other cash flows you are ignoring, basically. Yeah. So opening balance of fixed asset, operating cash flow minus capex you did. Once you did that, free cash flow to firm would be there. Are you guys getting it what I'm saying? Hello? So if you do that, what you get is something called as free cash flow to firm. Free cash flow to firm. Now what is firm? Free cash flow which is left to be distributed among whom? Among equity holders and hello? Free cash flow which is left to be distributed among whom? Equity shareholders and guys, are you alive? Hello?
Debt shareholders.
Debt holders. Now you got it. What is free cash flow to firm? Everyone got it. What is a free cash flow to firm? Is there any question on it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So till here, you guys had gone in the last session, right? You had gone and look at till here, right? Am I clear? Am I correct?
Yes.
Guys, hello. क्या कर रहे हो भाई?
Yes,
जवाब दो
yes.
ना. ठीक है. So now, in the next 10 minutes, go from here. VAC we had already gone, right? We know how to calculate VAC, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So go from here till here. the selected area.
Okay.
Just have a look at it, what it is, and then we discuss on it. Okay. So now you understand this section at least, and you understand this section also, right? Now you need to understand this much section, but just also go back to back again. No, it would just revise, put you some revision in your mind. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, Sumit.
Everyone.
Yes.
Indradeep. Okay. Slept already, yeah?
Yes, yes. No, 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 I'm following.
Okay, Bhaskar, with me, right?
Yeah, Sumit there.
Yeah, boring. Is it a boring session?
No, no, no. It's loaded
Cool.
with fun.
So next 10 minutes and we will connect back. Okay, just go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Acha. You guys are gone through it?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
एक से मेरा Bluetooth on करता हूँ. अच्छा, I'll just my Bluetooth is getting connected. Can you guys speak once again? Mr. Biswas, can you hear me?
Yes.
Still, it is not connected. Yeah, so if you have gone through it, guys, connected, disconnect, yeah. So I'll just launch the what you say, the polls, and you'll have to give rating basically, guys. Okay. Have you guys ever given any rating to any trainer earlier?
Not as such.
No.
So I requested them for you. Okay, let me bring Malik. You know Malik, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just give him. Thought that you guys. Are not enough. I wanted. Malik, okay. We will come and launch it. Yeah, guys. So Malik sir would be joining us in few minutes. He's just logging in, guys. And then he will launch the poll. And his speaker today, his laptop is under repair, so it's not working. There's some problem in his speaker, so he won't be able to speak. He communicated that to me on phone, but then he will definitely launch the poll. Yeah. So he's there. He's there as a host. You can see he's there as one of our login IDs with the name of Damini Datta, right? Because this is basically the login ID or credentials, because we have multiple login credentials. So he'll just launch the poll, and I'll tell you once he launches it.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so he has launched the poll, guys. On your screen, the poll would have come if you see. Has it come, Atisha?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So-
Sumit, it is there.
So you
Yes.
can give the rating on various parameters which are defined over there, guys. On quotes, on trainers, delivery, things like that would be there. So you can just give rating according to your experience so far.
Yeah, Sumit.
Yes, Atish. Hmm.
Yeah, are we supposed to rate this on the basis of our second trainer or the first one?
Wait a second. Huh? So Atisha, I just confirm it with sir. He said that there will be two polls. So this first poll is for level 1. So basically this is for the earlier trainer. And poll 2 would be for me, which would be
Okay.
your new trainer for level 2. Because level 1 was exclusively taken by your earlier trainer, right?
Okay.
So this first poll which has been launched is level 1. And second poll would be consecutively be launched in few minutes. That would be for level 2.
Okay.
But Sumit, I have already submitted the first poll and I thought it's for you.
Malik sir, Ritu is saying that I already submitted the poll and I thought it is for you only and not for the earlier trainer.
Yeah. So my it will be a wrong one, what I have submitted.
Yeah.
Give me a
Same.
second, guys. I'm talking to Malik sir. Malik sir, क्या बोल रहे हैं? So if you want to correct it, तो कैसे करोगे आप मलिक भाई? अच्छा, तो what you guys have to do is उनको मैसेज करवा दो, पिंग करवा दो चैट पे. हाँ, for level 1 जो आपने अभी submit किया है, if you want to change any of the criteria पे any of the rating guys, what you do
Yes,
is
yes,
you
I
send
want
the
to do.
I want
अच्छा,
to
so
change
for
it.
that
Yes, trainer had
so
no
guys listen to me,
professionalism.
listen to me. For that, send a message to Malik sir. ठीक है?
Okay.
So what he'll do is he will edit now that you have submitted, but he has his rights to edit it. So he will edit it and then resubmit it on your behalf.
But I need the questions again, na? But
नहीं तो क्वेश्चंस अच्छा इसमें को क्वेश्चन चाहिए वापस से.
ओके मैं
तो
डाल दूंगा वो चैट पर.
हाँ,
क्वेश्चन भेज रहे हैं आपको मलिक सर ना. हाँ आप
मुझे तो वो चाहिए बिकॉज मैंने जो दिया वो बिल्कुल गलत है.
अच्छा एक सेकंड रुको गाइस क्या बोल रहे हो. अच्छा जिनको अपना रेटिंग चेंज करना है ना फर्स्ट अप्रेजल का वो अपने को क्या करो कि मलिक सर को जस्ट सेंड देम अ मैसेज हाय करके. So based on that he will send the questions on WhatsApp to you guys. Okay. Right Malik sir, is this fine instruction I given? ये instruction सही दिया ना आपको WhatsApp पे उनको क्वेश्चन भेज दो. Okay, so for the first level 1 this poll guys, still there are 3 people's input which is pending. So guys, those who haven't done it, please do it. Then consecutively he will launch for level 2, right Malik sir? You will launch for level 2 immediately, right? Those who are left to submit, please do it, considering that is level 1 and that is for earlier trainer. Guys, please do it. Varsha, Shravan, Shivani, Saijal, Piyush, Indradeep, Abhilasha, those who haven't done it, please do it. Askar, Ritu,
Yes, submitted.
Atisha.
Yeah.
Submitted. Yeah.
I've sent message to Malik to send me
Okay,
the
Ritu.
question.
He will send you the question definitely. You sent a message to him, right? He'll send you the question.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So level 2's poll would be launched maybe today if the system permits in 1 day 2 polls, or otherwise it would be launched tomorrow. That is what been told to me. So meanwhile, we can continue our discussion. Let's finish, and the poll can then continue later whenever Mr. Malik would like to launch it. And he is actually editing the response for those who want to change. Yeah. Okay. So have you guys gone through it? All this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you would have witnessed some words like present value of forecast period, terminal value, enterprise value, debt, cash. All these you would have witnessed, right? And then market cap or equity value.
Yes.
So we know enterprise value is the value from the perspective of whom? Enterprise value is a value of the company from the perspective of whom? Both debt holders and equity
Debt
holders.
and equity. Yes.
And equity value of a company is from the perspective of whom? Only equity holders.
Only equity, yeah.
Right? So obviously enterprise value has more stakeholders into it, and equity value has only one stakeholder into it, right? Okay. Now, let's understand first terminal value. What is terminal value? Let's understand that. So what is terminal value, guys? Any idea? Anyone has any clue what is terminal value?
Value of an asset after the depreciation being charged. Means
Value
after
of
the
an aspect. Okay, so you are having a view, Bhaskar, which is very narrow right now with respect to only a particular asset of a company, right? We are talking about the terminal value of total company. A company is not an asset. Company holds asset and liabilities, right?
Okay. Then my bad.
So broaden your view. नहीं कोई mistake नहीं है. मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि अपना view को आपका view एकदम correct है. So generally that is what we call as residual value of any asset, which is the value left even after depreciation, right? But here we are talking about a business, which is a running entity, and a business never gets depreciated, right? A business is like a person never gets depreciated. And you can't depreciate a human being, can you? Which is mortal and immortal. There's a difference. So a person, what is mortality? Mortality is something which has to end. And what is immortality? Which never ends, right? So mortality would be depreciated, obviously. Somebody is 70 years, you can't expect the life of that person to be same, the remaining life of that person to be same as the person who is 10 years. So if someone is 70 years, obviously you would expect the mortality rate to be very high. The person's probability to die now in the near future is very high as compared to a person who is just 10 years old, right? So there is a natural depreciation which is happening. I agree. But here we are talking about something which is immortal. Now, what is immortal? What is the meaning of immortal? Let's look about it. What is the meaning of immortal, Sejal? Think about it. What is the meaning of immortal, Sejal?
Never dies.
Living forever, right? Everybody aspire for it, but can anybody get it? No. In human body, you can't get it. Even if you aspire, Sejal, that you become immortal and you live forever. There is only one character in Hindu mythology who still is living. Is what? What is his name? Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama, right? Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama seems to be immortal. See, when you write Ashwatthama, immortality word come together with it, right? So, Hindu mythology believes that Ashwatthama is still alive, right? No, Ashwatthama is not alive. He was cursed by the Supreme Krishna to weather in suffering for 3,000 years. So, if 3,000 years over, still, if not, so it become a Chiranjeevi. So there is a lot of thought, right? A lot of thought by different people. So, but few people think he died. Few people think he didn't die. And there is a village where still there is a temple, and they say that Sutama come every night to the temple of Lord Shiva, whose temple is that. They say he became a Chiranjeevi, immortal, due to a curse given to him by Krishna. And Lord Krishna said to him that you would remain alive forever till the ऐसे हिंदी में डायलॉग है, समय के अंतिम वक्त तक तुम जीवित रहोगे. समय का अंतिम, because time is something which is immortal, right? So when time will end, when means everyone will die, then the entire earth would die. Then Ashwatthama would also die. That is what they say. So basically, yeah. So that is only one person as per Hindu mythology who is having the curse of immortality. But other than that, Saijal, doesn't matter if you dream every night to become immortal, but you can't, honestly, right? So from that perspective, Bhaskar, what you said is correct. That yes, I know something which is left after depreciation. Obviously, the person who is having a natural depreciation from till the time he is born till he achieves 70 years age, obviously the time left to remain alive is less as compared to a person who is 10-year-old. And I understand you. I believe you understand this logic. But here we are talking about a business. The problem with business, or the blessing with business, I would not say problem, but the blessing with business is what? That it's not natural. It's not a natural, right? It's not a natural being. Is it a natural being?
No.
No. But still it's a being, right? We say it has its own identity, right? Like an individual, living individual, it has its own identity, right? But it is an artificial being. It is a artificial being. And because it's an artificial being, it loses that character of a natural being of getting naturally depreciated. That is death. It overcomes the chances of death. So because it's an artificial being, it can remain alive till the eternity, or till the end of the time. End of the time, or basically what we say with other word is till death. Because it's an artificial being. So that is something which we need to understand. So here, how many years of future cash flows we are trying to generate? How are we successfully able to come up with? How many years of cash flows?
10 years.
10 years. But is perpetuity equal to 10 years? Hello?
No.
Is perpetuity equal to 10 years? Tell me, guys, is perpetuity equal to 10 years? Anusha, sometimes you should also speak. Don't you think you have right? You also have obligation to speak. Right? So everyone has the right to speak, but sometimes you also have obligation to speak. Sometimes you should also speak, Anusha, rather than being a silent listener. Huh? So is perpetuity equal to 10 years? Tell me.
Sorry, sir.
Is perpetuity equal to 10 years?
Yeah.
Anusha is saying, yeah, perpetuity is equal to 10 years. Anusha, if you say like that, what will happen with you, you know? Because nobody ever was able to define perpetuity in this world. But you are able to define perpetuity is equal to 10 years. You know what will people do? People would start saying Anusha Ma ki jai, because you will become God for them. You know, there is this serial which comes. उसमें सविता माँ की जय करके there's episode going on. In Sony, there's a serial which comes on Sony Live. So if you say perpetuity is equal to 10 years, this is something a realization for the world. And if you say this, people will start coming to your home with all this narabaji. Let me show you. I'll have to accept all these terms, conditions, and all to show you that serial. But that's what it is. So do watch it if you ever get a chance.
I will not watch it, Sumit. Because
I'll
it is
show you
an OTT platform, and
I've taken it is an OTT platform. That's a great thing. So I really appreciate that. Then let me because right now, as I said, from last 10 days, becoming very spoiled, right? So
Sumit, are we allowed to watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
It's a very good series, because I sometimes I feel that I'm not digesting my food without watching one episode at least.
Oh, okay, nice. So that's I heard it's good. But first, watch. Let's see what can happen with Anusha one day, one fine day when she wakes up. What can happen with her?
How's the odds? Hi, sir! Predict and win. The greatest odds are with you. This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk. This communication is for 18+ only.
Make your predictions on cricket with 1xBet. 1xBet means big winnings and fast payouts. Best deals for new users.
This game involves some elements of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
See the future self of yours. But yellow, Anusha. Well, just to give you message, I had to make all this to see it, and also I had to click terms and conditions also. Right? I don't know what terms and conditions I have just signed just to make you watch this. But have you got the message? Again, you have gone on mute. But have you got the message over here, Anusha? In the entire world, nobody could define perpetuity, and you are defining perpetuity. You are saying perpetuity is equal to 10 years. Only God can do that. So if you will say this with so much of confidence, people will come in at your house saying Anusha Maki Jai, Anusha Maki Jai. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Perpetuity is equal to infinity.
Perpetuity is equal to infinity. That is why what you should do, what is the learning? Rather than becoming a mother of all or becoming Mata or God, you should concentrate. Okay? You should concentrate with the class, what the discussion is going on, and always participate. Rather than just let trainer to make you talk. Are you getting what I'm saying, Anusha?
Yeah,
Don't
sir.
be a silent
Actually, there's
listener over
some
here.
renovation going on, so it's like
I know the renovation will keep going on till perpetuity. I agree. This is world we are talking about, right? In world, renovation will keep having till perpetuity. But still, you focus more over here and ask question, right? Otherwise, I will catch you. I know who's focusing and who's not. Okay. All right. So perpetuity is equal to 10 years? No.
But are we calculating the value on the period of 10 years? Yes. So is it true? No. Something which has a life of perpetuity, Bhaskar, something which has a life of perpetuity, you are calculating of that thing at the life, considering the life 10 years, will you ever be able to get the full value? Will you be able to get the full value of the asset? Tell me.
No.
So if you are calculating the value of that asset based on 10 years life, then the value of asset would be equal to what? The value of the asset would be equal to what? Full value, full value, full value, full value. Would it be a full value? No. It would be full value, the total value minus perpetuity, whatever the time period is. Right? So minus 10 years. Something like that. So basically the answer we should come is full value minus perpetual value is same. Full value minus perpetuity value is same. So what will happen if you open this bracket? Full value minus perpetuity value plus 10-year value. Yes or no? Full value minus perpetuity value plus minus will get plus, right? Plus 10 years value. So what is the value of the asset you will get? You will get the, because full value positive and full value negative. Perpetuity is nothing, full value, right? So full value positive and full value negative will get cancelled out. You will be left with the value of how many years? Only 10 years of value.
10 years.
Then, so if you are planning to value a company, own it for a perpetual company or a company just for 10 years, perpetual company, right? So you should be finding the value. If you are calculating 10 years cash flow and calculating the value on it, are you getting full value of the company? No. You are getting just 10 years worth of value, which is a very meager value of the full value. Yes or no? Full value is, because we know 10 years is very short period and perpetuity is not 10 years, even if Anusha said, but it is not 10 years, right? Right. Otherwise, I showed you what will happen if you start deciding, telling perpetuity is equal to 10 years, people will come to your home saying, Bhaskar Bhagwan ki jai. And so this is something which can happen. You need to understand, we are living in a world where 90% of the people are followers. In fact, 91% of the people, Bhaskar, in this world is what? Followers. How can we say that? Why can we say that 91% of the people are followers? And only 9% of the people are creators.
Leaders.
Creators. So if you start making a creation that perpetuity is equal to 10 years, what will happen? 91% of the people would come at your home and say, Bhaskar Bhagwan ki jai. Why? And what is the logic of this this particular statistics? The logic is Facebook. Right? The statistics is given by Facebook. On Facebook, it is the 9% of the people who are creating stuff and 91% of the people who are liking, commenting, consuming, and kind of doing all those things other than creating anything. So creators make money, and 91% of the people lose a thing which is much more important than money. What is that thing? Which is much more important thing, money. What is that thing? What is much more expensive than money?
Time.
Time.
Time. He or she loses what? Time. So you need to understand. So do you want to be one of 91% or you want to be 9%? I observed and I realized, Bhaskar, I realized it in 2008, 17 October, somewhere that time when I was in Mumbai and I was just consuming a lot of data on Facebook, and suddenly one day my friend told me at 6:30, had come from office, and he said, Sumit, we'll do dinner together and I'm coming in 30 minutes. So I said, okay, you come in 30 minutes and then we will have dinner together. So he said, I said, okay, come. But he went and he didn't come the entire night that day. Entire night he didn't come. So he was going to visit, I guess, I don't know, I forgot, his friend or some girlfriend or someone, I forgot. But then he didn't come the entire night and he forgot to call me also. call me and tell that don't wait for me for dinner. And he's a very good friend of me. So even if you forget, it's fine because we are like childhood friends. We are neighbors in my hometown. We are neighbors and we have done all our schooling, everything together. So there's no formality that he has to give me a call or something. But it only stuck to me at somewhere around 11:30 in the night. In the night, 11:30 stuck to me that I'm waiting for this guy. So from 6:30 to 11:30, 5 years stretch back to back, I was watching video on YouTube, on this Facebook. Right, series to series started coming, and I kept on watching, consuming video, and I realized what the hell did I do? I lost my 5 hours thinking that कि अभी वो आएगा तो dinner करेंगे, अभी वो आएगा तो dinner करेंगे. Such a fool I was, right? That is what happened with the 91% of the people. You lose time, count on time. I realized that, and the very next day I left Facebook. So I'm not on Facebook. So my account is there on Facebook, but once in a year or once in 2 years, I log into that account, just that too for 5, 7, 10 minutes, not maximum that. So you know, you need to understand. I also realized that I can't be creative. You need to understand that. I also realized that I can't be creative. If I can ever become a creator, I will join back Facebook. If I believe that my creation would be appreciated in Facebook, because since 2017, a lot has changed, and now people started exploring real. I heard or I read on articles, a lot of articles, right? I keep on reading. So something called as Insta Reel or some more platforms are there, right? Which people use to create stories than Facebook these days. But yeah, whichever platform would be good for me, I would use that. But right now I do not feel like creator. Even till today, I do not feel like becoming a creator. So I don't go to Facebook because I don't want to be the person who is losing time. This is much more expensive. 91. I don't want to fall into the category of 91%. But Bhaskar, if you will say perpetuity is equal to 10 years, you will find all these 91% people start following. That's the problem, right? So we need to understand, guys, that perpetuity, when we need to value a company, we have to look beyond a certain number of years, maybe 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, or 15 years. Because life of business is not finite. With some exceptions. Some exceptions can be there. For example, a business in a format of joint venture, which is established with an objective to build a road. So it's a kind of project. And the life of that business then would be equal to the time it takes to build that road. As soon as the road is built, that business will be dissolved because the purpose is short. So yeah, these are some exceptions which can be there with respect to this feature of a business, that a business has a perpetual life. Otherwise, all the business has a very simple principle they follow. It is which that principle is called as going concern. What is the principle? Saijan, what is the principle generally all business follow? Being a
Going concern.
Going concern. And because of this principle, a business achieves the life of perpetuity. So if you have to value a business, you do not have to look the cash which the business is going to generate or in the first 10 years, but you have to look beyond first 10 years until perpetuity. You have to look. So the tool to do that is something which was given to the world by someone called as Gordon. But before Gordon, also people who had actually built it, Gordon has used that concept in a derivative manner. He has used the concept of GP. So if whoever the mathematician who has given geometric progression as a tool to humanity, that is the person has given the tool to look into a company's value till perpetuity. And Gordon used a derivation of that. So Gordon derived a Gordon method of finding terminal value based on this underlying tool of GP only. GP is nothing but geometric progression. It's a mathematic geometric progression. It's a mathematic progression, right? You would have learned this in class 6, 7, 8, 9, depending on which board you were. Either you were in a CBSE board or ICSE or in a state board. So depending on which board you were, if you were in CBSE, ICSE, AP and GP as a progression would have come much earlier in the course. But if you were in a vernacular or a state board, it would have come little later, but till 10th, but it would have obviously come. AP and GP, arithmetic progression and geometric progression. These are the two concepts you would have learned, right? So in geometric progression, there is a concept of finding value where the series goes infinite. Where the series goes infinite, and that is why, considering that as a concept, Gordon created a concept of calculating terminal value, and that is called as, according to that method, he created a very beautiful formula. He said terminal value is nothing but terminal value is nothing but let's create some space over here. He said terminal value is nothing but the latest year's cash flow, which, for example, in this year 2025 is cash flows till the time you do all the projections and all, and from that year's cash flow into 1 plus something called as terminal growth rate. Something called as what? Terminal growth rate. So what is terminal growth rate? We'll just look at it. Divided by discount rate or cost of capital, or something called as WACC, minus the terminal growth rate. This is what he has explained. And terminal growth rate, he said that beyond a particular period.
You are not audible.
Oh, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
So according to this concept, terminal growth rate is beyond a certain time period, guys, a company cannot keep growing at a very high growth rate of 20% and 40% and so on and so forth. Once a company become mature, at max, either it will not grow, even if it will grow, it will not grow more than the certain broad parameter like GDP growth rate or population growth rate. So some macro element would become the reason for growth. Rest, other than that, there would not be any growth left, or price inflation. So these can be the reason for the growth beyond a particular time, post which there would not be any reason for company to grow, because it would have reached the stage of maturity. Now, how its maturity stage looks like, let's look at it quickly. So a business will start from nothing, can grow very fast, it become popular, and its brand become popular, it can grow very fast. But beyond a point in time, the growth plateaued, right? And then it becomes a very much, or some businesses like BlackBerry can go fall also. And some business like ITC can be mature forever. Growth rate becomes very normal. Same with the Colgate, right? Beyond the level Colgate, till the time nobody was using Colgate, which is point number A over here, to a time where almost everyone uses Colgate, which is point number here. Now, what is the growth left? The growth left would be nothing but the population growth rate, yes or no? Because new people have to come to this world to become your customer. Because those who are using, yes or no? Guys, hello, am I making sense or not? Is it something which is illogical I'm talking about? Hello?
No, it's logical.
No.
From point A to point B, I agree. Because there was so much of a scope, 0 people using, till the entire population using your product, there's a huge growth. But once you achieve that growth, now if you want to have additional sales, incremental sales, can it come? No. On the only way it can come is as more and more incremental people come. If population growth rate is 1%, then largely your company's growth rate would be 1%. If population growth rate is 50%, you know what will happen. If population grows at 50%, what will happen, Saijit? If in a country population grow at 50%, what will happen? Huh? What will happen? Hello? If population grow to 50% in a country, what will happen in a year? If 50% population growth is there, what will happen? Tell me quickly. Hello, guys.
Inflation will grow like anything, and people will die of. A lot of people will die of starvation also.
Yeah, so Darwin's philosophy will come into the picture. Hello, what will come into the picture? Darwin's. Only the best can sustain. Rest will die. Poor, hungry. Because there is limited resources. You can't have so many people. Right? You cannot fit. Think about it. Population growth at 50%. If a family of 2 people, if it is going to grow at 50% every year, the number of people in the family become, you know, how many? In 10 years time, let's see. If population growth is 50%, so if a family of 2, and if it grows 50%, it grows at what rate of 50%? 1 plus 0.5, 50% rate. For example, in 20 years, the number of family members will be how many? 6,650. In 20 years, how many people would be there in the family? Hello? If a family
It's
of
not a
2
family
growing at
anymore. It's a
50%,
village.
it's a small village, right? And then these many people growing at 50% for 20 years will become, this family will become, in 20 years will become how many people? Hello? A small country, right? So, Sejal, you understand, in 40 years, 2 people can create a country in itself. 2 crore 21 lakh 14,665. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys? Are you getting the sense of it? Can population growth be ever 50%?
No, it cannot be.
40 years, the trajectory of 40 years to understand, right? It cannot, right? It is plus minus 1% here and there, yes or no, right? So that is where the Colgate's growth rate would be largely at a beyond a point. Once when everybody has adopted toothpaste as a category and fall into the illogical advertisement of a Colgate company that everyone should brush twice a day, completely bullshit, and which is resulting into a lot of tooth decay, and people have to take a help of a dentist. So only one fraternity or 2 people are getting advantage of this bullshit advertising. One, the company itself is getting its product sold twice what it's getting sold earlier. And second is dentists as a fraternity, because we as fool people get into this advertisement. We brush twice a day. So we make the speed of decay in our tooth twice the speed. So at the age of 20 or 22 only, we start going to dentist. And I don't remember my grandmother going to a dentist in her life of 90 years. Okay. But we at the age of 20, so I started going to dentist at the age of 18, 19. I was in Ahmedabad doing my graduation first year. It was 19. I would be younger than Atisha by then, I guess. Yeah. And I started visiting dentist for my tooth problem. And the day I stopped using toothpaste, that is in the year 2014 or 15. Yeah, in 15 mid, I stopped using toothpaste. So I don't apply toothpaste to my mouth, and it's been now 7 years. There's not a single instance that I had gone to dentist. Not a single instance. And till the time 2014, I was not able to eat anything tangy. Otherwise, it was really impossible for me to chew anything tangy or anything cold. Ice cream and the one which is full of ice-based ice cream and all. I was not able to have it. Why? Because I used to have to brush twice a day since very early age, maybe 10 or 12 or 13 years old. And that's the bullshit thing which I did. But as soon as I realized the main culprit is not anything else but the one which you apply to your mouth, that is Colgate every day, which is twice a day, is the culprit for our tooth decay. And dentists are making a lot of money these days. You know, you go to any good dentist to extract a tooth from your mouth, they would charge you 25,000 rupees, right? and they would then they would apply some other truth to it. They will give you all the offers, gold, silver, anything. And for that they would charge silica, villica. They would give so many options these days. And all this is helping dentists to really have a great career ahead. But honestly, guys, you need to understand this advertising is a foolish, is to make people foolish. So how long you want to let people make you fool is your choice, right? It's a choice. Lord Sadguru, if you know who is Sadguru, Sadguru says it's a choice. If you let people make you fool, it's a choice of yours. It is not people's choice. It is your choice. If you want to let people make you, it's your choice. If you
So
let
Sumit, I
Hmm.
suppose this
Make you
industry
fool.
works like this only, that they create such products so that we use, and we create an industry for other like medical and all to grow
So
those
that's what I so
industries as
it's your,
well.
so that see industry work which and way that way. It's something which is we can always talk about, and there's a lot of halabula about that. But you need to understand, change would start from yourself, right?
Yes.
So knowing this fact, as soon as I realized that Facebook is consuming my time and it is making me fool, I stopped using Facebook, right? As soon as I realized that I didn't used to use a toothpaste of Colgate. I used to use Close Up, by the way. But yeah, whichever it is, it's all the same. But as soon as I realized he's making fool out of me, what I did, I stopped using it, right?
Yes.
So you need to
Okay.
understand that you need to change yourself. You can't let everyone else to make that change, right? Or max you can
Actually,
do what I'm doing. Hmm.
actually, there are a lot of things happening into the market. If I consider the brown market, let's say everybody is obsessed with the brown bread, brown rice, brown this, brown that. But the latest research report has come out, and it is available in different scientific journals, and they are telling that there is no significant a difference between the white rice and brown rice, white bread and brown bread. The change between these two is very minimal. So even if you are obsessed with your health and you are paying a premium price, which it doesn't worth at all,
Hey,
because
see, if you are obsessed with your health, what you should do is you get the atta at your home, make the chapati out of it. It is the brownest chapati you can have in the world. That's all.
Sumit, we are
Obviously, yeah, I'm saying if you are really health conscious, what you do is you bring atta and make chapati at your home. That's the healthiest thing you can have, right? But if you are
correct.
relying on someone else to come up and give you something healthy, if you believe him, that is a foolish act of yours, right? They call me the most. See, my friends tell me that I'm anti-economy. Okay, so my friend, one of my great friends is, I will tell you, uh, Priyank Parik. Okay. So I don't know if he use Parik. Yeah, Parik. So he's a very good friend of mine, and he has a very good view of markets, and we talk a lot. Okay. He's an analyst, equity analyst. So we almost started our career. Yeah, he's the person. He is brilliant, and his views on markets and everything is very good. So he's very young, maybe 2 3 years older than this guy Atishay. He's very young. He cleared his chartered accountancy in 2017 only, but his view is brilliant, and he's 3 years younger to me. But his views of markets and everything is very brilliant. So he, in fun, tells me that you are anti-economy, and I said, why? Why do you think so? So we used to work in the same company. The common company we used to work is this. When we used to work together in the same company was No Craft Analytics, and I had joined in January. He had joined in April. So there's just 3 months of time. So I used to I used to go to office on cycle. Okay. So I used to go office on cycle. I had this Hercules cycle. Now I sold it because of this lockdown. I don't have to go to office anymore. But I have this Hercules Montra cycle. I used to go to office on cycle, and yeah, something like that. This one I had. Oh, this one is the which I used to own. So and I used to use least to least. So I wasn't on Facebook. I don't use any car vehicle, so I don't use any petrol. And then on one fine day we were talking, I said, yeah, it's very cheap to manage a cycle. Every week I only spend 10 rupees for fill the air in the tires, right? And that is actually free to any shop. If you go and if you want to fill the air, nobody charges you. But just to feel rich, I used to give him 10 rupees. I used to think, yeah, people are spending so much on petrol and diesel every month, and they have to go for a car. Every time you take your car to showroom for what you say, uh, service and all, it costs you a lot, right? A 5 lakh rupees of car cost you in a time of 7 years. A 5 lakh rupees of car actually cost you 25 lakh rupees. If you do the mathematics correct, you'll find it that a 5 lakh rupees of car will cost you 25 lakh rupees. Now just go and try to find out any model which is available at 5 lakh rupees. You won't like it. In today's world, if any car model is available at 5 lakh rupees, you would not like to buy it. If it is some forcefully asking you to buy it, that's a different thing. If somebody is putting a gun on your head and asking you to buy it, then it's a different thing. But today you will not like anything in the price range of 5 lakh. At least you have to have a budget of 10 lakh rupees, right? To have something, a good car like a Kia Sonet or some good car, some good model car would come in the range of 10 lakh rupees. So if a 5 lakh rupees car costs you 25 lakh rupees in 7 years, just imagine what a 10 lakh rupees car would cost you. Mathematically, it says 50 lakh rupees, but I believe it's not 50 lakh rupees. Few cost would come down, and doesn't matter. Few cost of petrol and everything would remain same, even if you use Sonet or you use a 5 lakh rupees car, and few cost will go up and see. So I guess 35 to 40 lakh rupees if you do mathematics correct. So that is what people spend. Can I not spend 10 rupees a week just to maintain my cycle? I told this to my friend. So he said, Sumit, you are totally anti-economy. If everyone would have been like you, this economy would not work. You need to understand. Because if you would not buy car, how the automobile companies would work? If automobile company would not work, then how the laborers and the people who are working over there would get salary? If they would not get salary, how would they buy goods and stuffs which their parents or their children or they themselves want to buy, like television and food and atas and everything, right? So you are the point of stopping everything. You need to understand. So he used to tell me that. He used to tease me like that. And which I agree that yes, if everyone would become people like me, then obviously you would find if everybody would become minimalist, you will find lesser demand for all of the things. And if lesser demand means lesser private investment, lesser factories, and if lesser factories means lesser salaries, lesser packages. But that is okay, na? What is the problem? See, if living in Mumbai, I told him, if living in Mumbai, you are having a package of 40 lakh rupees, are you rich? Huh? If you're living in Mumbai, you are having a package of 40 lakh rupees, Sajal, do you think you are rich? Huh?
No.
That's 40 lakh. See, try to understand with 40 lakh rupees of package, what in hand you will get. Tell me, what in hand you will get? You will not get more than
1,20,000 per month.
Net in hand 2,20,000. Yeah, not more than. Okay. Like 2,20,000 or 2,10,000, 2,20,000. That's the in hand you will get, right? So I just keep one extra zero over there, right? The 40 lakh rupees of package, you will not get 2,20,000 in hand. And if you are living in a good place, for example, good in the means, I'm not talking about very expensive 4 BHK house cycle over here. I'm asking about to live a 2 BHK house, which is built in a 700 square feet. I am telling you, if you go to village, a particular hall will be of this size. Okay. If you go to a village, a hall of a house would be of this size. I'm talking about the entire house built in the format of 2 BHK. In the format of 2 BHK, built in the square feet of 700 or 750 square foot, and you have to pay a rent of at least, if it is fully furnished and if it is in a good area, high-rise apartment of Powai, you will have to pay as good as 65,000 to 70,000. On the top of it, you will have to pay 40,000 society maintenance every month. So what is the total cost you have to bear? What is the total cost you will have to bear to live in a good house? Because if you will not live in good house, people will laugh at you, right? In your community, yes or no? And it will affect you. If you think about it, it can affect you. If you don't think about it, it might not affect you. People like me can go and live in 1 BHK. So I told you, I used in the Gurgaon, I used to live in a 1 BHK, which used to cost me 15,000. All my bosses, my friends, and everyone used to live in a good house, 2 BHK, 3 BHK flat in Gurgaon. I used to live in 1 BHK, 600 square foot, and I used to pay 15,000 for a fully furnished house. People used to pay 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. That is their choice, and I wasn't ashamed to tell that I live in a 1 BHK, but that's okay. You have to make a mindset like that. So 79,000 goes in where? 17,000 may you haven't got anything to eat yet. Saijal, you haven't got anything to eat yet. 79,000 is going only for what? For your
Rent.
rent.
Living.
Now, if you are living in that place, you go down to the society, you will not like it. Why? If you are on foot, you not like it, because everyone would at minimal to minimal, they would come in Kia Seltos. Minimum to minimum, anybody would be owning what? Kia Seltos. So in fact, you would feel inferior. This inferiority complex will come you even if you are owning something like Centro is a big, far distant thing. You will feel like poor if you are owning Centro. But yeah, if you are owning something like Swift, you will feel like very average, and there would be always an inferiority complex in you. So everybody's so in order to live in a place like this, you'll have to have at least a Kia Seltos, right? So if you are buying a Kia Seltos, that is I forget about the price you'll have to pay, but monthly expense of 31,000 if you are buying it on what? So I'm including petrol, diesel, whatever you consume, this car consume, plus the installment, and plus the service maintenance. Okay, you can do it this you can do this as many times as you want. You will find a range between 25K to 40K, something like that, but let's keep 31,000. I have done enough research, and I my side time I just keep on thinking monetarily all those things. So how much have you spent? Only the car and the house has required you how much to spend? 1,10,000. Now on the top of it, like your car needs fuel, you need what? Hello, you need what? Food. Hello, food. Something, for example, let's talk about radish. You know radish? So the other day I was buying radish in Gurgaon. Okay, I said, Papa, I was talking to my dad, and I said, Papa, आज गाजर का हलवा खाया and bought 3 kg radish. Right, 3 kg gajar liya tha maine. I bought 3 kg gajar. My father said, what's the price you paid? I said, I bought it at 55 rupees per kg. So my father said, awesome. Awesome. So my father said, in my hometown, right now where I'm living, because I left, because I got work from home and all. Yeah. So in Soja, it is like 10 rupees per kg. So if you think that you can get the food at the same price, if you think you can get the food the same price in a locality where you are living, like in Powai, in Mumbai, you can get the same price what you can get in a small town. This is a foolish thought again. Because food inflation, because see, people over here knows what in Gurgaon. People in Gurgaon knows all these people. Gurgaon was a village. You need to understand, Gav is added in the word itself. Gurgaon, it was a village. Till 2008, 2010, it was pure village. So people, everybody knows over here that people out of the city coming over here, working over here is working with a high package. Everybody has this mindset. Even if you are working like 6 lakh package, but your society, niche the shops would be, shopkeeper would be thinking you are earning 60 lakh rupees. That's what he would keep the prices of goods like, thinking that you are earning 60 lakh rupees, even if you are earning 6 lakh rupees. And that is reality in any good area you go live in city. Okay. So Powai mein, the food itself can cost you 3 times or 4 times of what it would cost you in a place like Sojat. Okay. So this is a small town with 40,000 population. My company people were saying me on 2-3 days back that we are sending you the laptop, but I don't think it would reach to you. The IT guy was telling me, because the name of the address which you have given me sound to me like this, that the delivery will never happen. And I said, boss, nay, today world has changed. It will get delivered. Don't worry, you just send it to me. So he said this, so people are not able to map it. So I said, yeah. So food. Now food is something would cost you, at least I'm telling you, if you are living as a family of 2, Saijal, if you are living as a family of 2, mind you, it would cost you somewhere around 25 to 30,000. And I'm talking everything in this. Okay. I'm taking everything, starting from ghee. So whatever it takes to cook food, right? Vegetables, pulses, yeah, everything. everything, the convenience fee which you will pay to buy vegetables, because don't worry, these people will not stop giving delivery at free of cost so long. First, they will make you into a habit of convenience, and then they will start taxing you for that convenience. So you must be now observing on all the Zomato orders, the delivery charges are very expensive these days, right? 40, 50, 60 rupees delivery charge they take. And this Dunzo is not cheap. Dunzo, for a 10 kilometers delivery, they would at least ask for 100 rupees, right? So don't believe that this is coming for free. So everything considering our family of two, it is 30,000 food. Now, what about the pubs? Hello, guys, don't you like to go to pubs? Huh? Don't you like to go to bars? Even if somebody say, I don't drink, but still you will go out to eat. Hello? Everybody, you can't expect to eat at the same place. Or either you will not go out for eat because of Omicron, you will order, right? And because you are earning 2,20,000, would you like to order from some thela, from stall? No, boss, cheap food, cheap. Even stall food is not cheap in Mumbai, but still, it is not. It's very unhygienic and all, because you think that stall mein banta hai to unhygienic hai, hotel mein banta hai to non-unhygienic hai. But you go to and check the hotel storeroom, you will find a lot of mice and mouse over there, thousands and hundreds. But you never go get the time to go to kitchens over there, right? But if you go there, you will find in stall it is visible. So stall wala is more aware as compared to a 5-star hotel wala. You need to understand that fact. This is reality. But yeah, outside everything will look good, so you think no mouse and mice are there. So yeah, so you go there, and at least it is going to be cheap to cheap. These days you go, it takes 2,000 to 2,500 per meal. Two people. I'm talking about in a good restaurant. Or if you're ordering home, it might be 1,000 rupees. So at least it's 1,000 rupees. If 7 times you take orders, and if you don't have drinking habits, that's good. If you have drinking and smoking habits, so the value can be much bigger. So it can go in the range of 7,000 to 15,000, depending on what likes and dislikes you have, right? So depending on that. So let me go the midway, 10,000. Yeah. So where have we reached, Saijal? Starting our journey started from 2,20,000, reached to 1,10,000, then reached to 30, then 10,000. So 70,000 you're left with, right? Boss, now let me be very frank with you. Yeah. Don't you like to wear clothes, hello? Don't you like to wear clothes? And that too branded clothes. And would you not ever plan for family, child? Will you not send him to the school? Hello? The fees per month in nursery school for Gurgaon is 25,000 per month plus. Even if it is offering you online. This is, I'm talking about nursery and kindergarten. Hello, I'm not. You can go and check in the schools of Gurgaon. I'm not fooling you. If somebody is from Gurgaon, some family living in Gurgaon must be knowing it, right? This is, I'm talking about nursery. As soon as your kid reach to a stage of 6th class, the school fee is maybe 25,000 only per month. But they will tell you will charge extra 15,000 per month, and will start giving IIT training from 6th class only. And everybody wants to see their child grow and go to the best place. But you know what is it is? I'm not able to write also IIT. 15,000. The total monthly cost go to 55,000 plus 15,000. So depending on your child is into kindergarten to this monthly cost can go from 25,000 to 40,000. So let's keep the mid with 30,000, right? This is the same with Mumbai. Hello, schooling. So what are we left with?
40,000.
30,000. And what have we covered so far? Roti, kapda, and makan only we have covered, guys, and just one luxury, which is car. Just one luxury, which is car, and we are left
तुम्हें
down.
तो आपने तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गैस और पानी का बिल भरा ही
उस पे आ रहा हूँ मैं, उसी पे आ रहा हूँ। मैंने कहा अभी सिर्फ ये देखा है, and we are left with only 40,000 rupees. Now, can you live without AC, right? In Mumbai, if you are living and if you are earning 2,20,000, boss, you are not earning 22,000 monthly. Obviously, if you are earning 2,20,000, you can't live without AC. Now, AC, if you run these days, work from home, if your AC is running 18 hours a day, monthly, I'm telling you, AC and the total electricity bill will come. If 2 ACs are there in the house, and the electricity bill would somewhere come around 10,000 rupees per month.
Correct.
Right, if 2 ACs are running, if 1 AC, and accordingly you have to manage, guys. D2H, all those entertainment, everything would cover additional 7,000 to 10,000. उस पे फिर आता है talent announcement classes like Imaticals, yeah. So that is like 3,000 per month. Everybody wants to learn more, right? The journey started from 2,20,000, it ends to 20,000. I'm telling you, come to Sojat, and you earn only 40,000 rupees, still you will be left with the same 20,000 rupees of savings. Same, I'm telling you, at 40,000 in Sojat, if you are earning and working, living in Sojat, and you're earning 40,000, you'll left with same savings. So are we rich if you are earning 40 lakh rupees package? This is I'm talking about. Such as somebody is making 40 lakh rupees per annum. And is 40 lakh rupees per annum very common? Is it very common? Hello?
No.
We are living in a country where 90% of the people earn less than 2 lakh rupees per annum. 90% of the people earn how much? Less than 2 lakh rupees per annum. How many people? 90% of the people are living into that country. So if you are living into a country where 90% of the people earning less than 2 lakh rupees, the chances of everyone who's sitting in the class earning 40 lakh rupees per annum is equally that only. That 10% of the people in this class would be earning that. So only one in us would be earning that, right? That at 12 people, so 1.2. Let's take it out, figure 1%. And you know, understand at a 40 lakh rupees of package, at the end of the day, what we're saving is 2,40,000. Right? So this is something needs to be checked, right? This is really not something needs to be checked. That are we really rich or are we really talk about the people who are making 20 lakh that, who are making 10 lakh that, right? So this is really you can really fall into category of top 10%, because according to me, it is not who make 40 lakh rupees is part of this 10%. According to me, the person who saves 40 lakh rupees per annum is part of this 10%. You need to understand this. If you want to become rich, you have to make your savings grow tenfold from 20,000, right? So a lot of things in this world would be sold to us, you know, and we need to decide that we really need to create all this Allah bulla of high packages, but all of this, Bhaskar, all of this in the backend, what is happening? In backend deterioration, continuous deterioration of earth is anyways happening. Right? So we are actually eating up all the resources, all the ACs which you are using right now, all the electricity which you are using right now, consuming right now, is actually resulting into what? Lesser generation of electricity in the future. Or same electricity would be very expensive. So we are overutilizing the resources. If you are doing that, so that is where I made him clear was, you know, let's be on foot. Let's ride bicycle, and let's use public transport. Let's use Ola, Uber. They're very cheap, I'm telling you. And when you talk about this, then comes the biggest thing, that in case of emergency, it's your own car which can help you, nothing else. Because your own car can also fall under the same day. I can also make you this comment now. In case of emergency, your car is there sitting down there, but you're not able to start your car. It's too much of winter. You're not able to start your car. The petrol, you forgot to put petrol in the car. What? Even in that case, also you'll have to call Ola, Uber only, right? So all those options are there. Use that. So if you use them, the cost of here which you have considered for what 31,000, this goes to 3,100 immediately. So immediately your savings go from up. Yeah, so this goes to 3,100 and immediately your savings goes up by, I don't know how we have done this mathematics, but it will go to 3,100. So your cost should be what is this? Power bulbs and left is I don't know if we have done mathematics correctly over here earlier. Okay, I know, I got it. What we are not. So you'll be left with what? You'll be left with 79,000 plus 3,100. 3,100 minus 2,20,000. You will be left with what? 1,37,900. As soon as you start using Ola Uber, your saving goes from 20,000 to what? Hello? 47,000. So what is the jump in your savings?
50, 60.
What is the jump in your saving? 140%. What is the jump in the savings? 140%. So that is how much early you can stop living in Mumbai and come back to your hometown if you're not a Mumbaikar yourself, right? And wherever you can, think about, house is your priority, school is your priority, whatever. So you can stop going to out for eating. So if you do that, this further goes up to 57,900, right? You can stop using AC if it is possible. Just go to 2,000. So a lot of things you have to get into the habit. You got into the habit. See, when we were child, guys, honestly tell me, Sajal, when you were 3-year-old, were you really crazy about AC or living in AC?
No.
Or 5 years? We were not, right? We ourselves have spoiled ourselves. Need to understand. So somebody who's never lived in AC would find the normal cooler very amazing. It is first time when they see AC, they see the impact and they start liking AC. Right? And like this, there are many expenses which you can take care of, guys. If you do reading yourself, this itself can go up. If you do regular reading, this itself can go 50 lakh, 60 lakh, and this itself can go up, right? Your income can also go up. Yeah. And if you, I would not ask you to compromise on the place where you live, but wherever else, in whatever you can compromise, you try to compromise and all, So we haven't considered healthcare in this, right? 20,000 can go in healthcare itself. So if you do exercise, healthcare can also be taken care of. A lot of things we haven't covered up. Yeah, so you're correct. This is how things are sold. But it is on us. Do we really need to buy all the things which are sold to us? Right? Be it service like Facebook or OTT, or be it a good like Colgate. Now coming back to this. Yeah. Ultimately, you understood what is terminal growth rate. Terminal growth rate would be that which the company cash flow will grow till perpetuity, right? You got it, right?
Sumit, you are inaudible.
I'm saying terminal growth rate, have you got it or not? The terminal growth rate is the growth rate with which company can grow from maturity after achieving maturity till perpetuity, right? It would be very small, 2, 3, 4%, and you can use guidance as GDP growth rate or population growth rate or inflation in the country to assume terminal growth rate. Yeah. All right. Now, all these cash flows which you are going to generate in the future, right? Is it same? So is it same to tell if you are going to receive 1,307 crore rupees in 2025, is it equal to receiving 1,307 crore rupees as of today? No, right? This time value of money, yes or no?
Yes.
So let me give you a simple example. For example, Sejal, I tell you, I give you 1 lakh rupees today, okay? And I give you 1 lakh rupees 10 years from now. Which option would you choose? Today or 10 years from now?
Today.
Why? Why today?
Because it has more value right now.
Yeah, because after 10 years, the same lakh rupees which you are receiving from now, if you want to have a proper comparison, even at FD, if you put 1 lakh rupees in 10 years, this 1 lakh rupees will convert into, not in FD, 10% you get 5% in FD. So this would be equal to how much? 1,62,889. But if you are lucky to get this into mutual fund, somebody advise you, it may make it to how much? 2,59,000. Something which you are receiving as 1 lakh rupees can take a form of how much? 2,59,000. So if somebody asks you to receive 1 lakh rupees today and 2,59,374 10 years from now, and your option to invest this money you have is a 10% rate of interest, that's the only option you know, then you say, I'm indifferent. I'm okay. You give me 1 lakh rupees today, or you give me 2,59,379 10 years from now, I'm okay. Why? Because what are you going to receive 10 years from now, that is 2,59,000, has a present value as of today of how much? 1 lakh only. Because this 1 lakh rupee, which is having present value of 1 lakh today, is turning into 2,59,000, which is the future value of this 1 lakh only. After how many years? After 10 years. This is future value of 1 lakh only. This is Shravan. This is future value of
1 lakh rupees.
This is future value of same 1 lakh only, right? Same 1 lakh only. This is future value of that same 1 lakh rupees, which you are going to receive when 10 years from now, right? That's all. Or if I have to say oppositely, I can say this is the present value of, this is the present value of, this is present value of 2,59,374, which I am receiving today. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
So this is the present value of 2,59,000 and so much rupees you are going to receive. Uska present value is 1 lakh, right? So what are we talking about, Bhaskar, over here? What are we talking about, Bhaskar?
Present value and future value.
Present value and future value in context of what?
In context of understanding the terminal value.
In context of understanding any cash flows which you are going to receive, will have in future, will have different present value as of today. Yes or no? Be it terminal value or be it any value. So all this cash which this business is expected to distribute among its shareholders and debt holders is how much? Freely. All this cash, right? But this cash, the company would be able to do it when? In future, right? So this 442 crore rupees of cash would be distributed to shareholders and distributed when? 1 year from now. The 666.5 will be distributed to shareholders when? 2 years from now.
2 years from now.
This 1,307 crore rupees will be distributed by company to shareholders and debt holders when? 10 years from
10
now.
years from now.
So if you have to find out the value of all these cash flows as of today, you have to convert them into, because all these are future value. This is future value for first year. This is future value of second year, future value of third year. This is future value of 10th year. So in order to find out one value which represent all these values as of today, you have to calculate what?
Present value of money, current.
Present value of all these cash flows, right?
Yeah.
So which you can calculate by a concept called as what? Concept called as what?
Time with discounted cash flow.
Yeah, you can discount them and find out the discounted cash flow value, right? Okay. So how can we calculate that? Very simple. We can calculate something called a discount factor. Discount factor is nothing but opposite of compounding factor. So let's first understand compounding factor. So when I say that I have 1 lakh rupees as of today, and I'm going to invest at a rate of I have 1 lakh rupees and I'm going to invest at what rate? 10%. What is going to be the future value? How would I calculate the future value at the end of 1 year? Tell me quickly. Quickly tell me. How would I calculate the future value at the end of 1 year?
10% plus 10% of 1 lakh plus 1 lakh, the principal amount.
So 10% of, sorry, 1 lakh into 1 plus 10%. That's what you did said, right? Because 1 lakh is common in the equation which you said.
Yes.
Right? So how much will it become?
1 lakh 10.
1 lakh 10,000. So what is the factor you used? What is the factor you used? You used the factor of nothing but 1 plus 10%. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? If it is for 2 years, I'm asking you the value, then you will use the factor called 1 plus 10% into 1 plus 10%. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's what you do. Right? That's what you do, which is nothing but 1 plus 10% to the power 2. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So if I have to ask you what is the going to be future value after 2 years, if 1 lakh is growing at 10%, you will say 1 lakh into 1 plus 10% to the
10%.
power 2. That is 1,21,000, right?
Yeah.
So compounding factor. So if I have to find out the present value of this 1,20,000, if I divide the same number by the same factor, it will give you 1 lakh. See. So if I divide 1,20,000 and I want to find, this is the future value. I'm saying the future value of a cash flow is 1,21,000, which you are going to receive at the rate of 10% 2 years from now. What is the present value? It's very simple. Future value को multiply की जगह, in place of multiplication, you will go division. Future value divided by the same factor. What is the factor? 1 plus 10% to the power 2. Okay, so it will go to.
Okay.
Again, are you getting 1 lakh or not? Tell me. The same 1,10,000 which you want to know, which is the future value 1 year from now. If you want to know the present value of the same cash flow as of today, we know it is going to come 1 lakh. How? By using the same factor. So 1,10,000 divide by, rather than multiplying it by 1 plus 10%, you will divide by the same factor, 1 by 10%. Are you getting 1 lakh? So compounding factor, the opposite of compounding factor is discounting factor. So what is discounting factor? Discounting factor is nothing but 1 divided by compounding. Is it easy to understand? Tell me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So find out the discounting factor over here. Discounting factor over here first for the first year will be equal to 1 divided by 1 plus the discount rate. What is the discount rate? WAC. Right? WAC is the discount rate. So to the power what? 1. Yeah. So if we do this, we get what? The discount factor. The future where if you are going to receive 4,42,000.4 rupees, as of today, it is equivalent to receiving how much? 399.1. Yes or no? So, but this would become the present value as of today of which cash flow? First year's cash flow. Right. Similarly, if you are to find out the future value of the present value factor of second year, it would be simply 1 divided by 1 plus the same rate. Rate of discount is same, right? 10.8.
Yeah, 10.8.
Same rate to the power what? To the power
2.
Right. So like this, you can calculate it for all the years. Only thing you have to do is you have to keep changing the power में 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. Discount rate will remain same. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Any confusion on this? And then what you do is you find out the present value of all these cash flows by multiplying it with the present value factor. Right? So you'll get the present value of all these cash flows for the next 10 years. And if you do the summation of this would be nothing but the value of the business for the first year, 10 years cash flow. Yes or no? 5,075. This entire thing could have been done by a simple formula, which is nothing but NPV. In Excel, we have a formula called NPV, where you have to decide the rate, divide by, you have to give the all cash flows. Select the range of all the cash flows. It will tell you the directly the present value. So you will be saved by calculating the present value factor for each of the years. Are you getting what I'm saying? But if you want to do present value factor calculation separately, can you do it? Yes, you can do it. We just done it, right? I explained you how it comes. No, knowing the formula is good, but you should also know the mechanism, how the formula is working, right? Bhaskar? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes. Sir.
Yeah, was it discussed earlier also in the session, how to do all this? Hello? Was it discussed or not? Tell me.
नहीं ये इतना discuss नहीं हुआ था.
Okay. So wherever you feel that I'm not adding any value, you tell me, let me know, because it should not be a waste of your time, right? Sometimes I just go into the flow, and I can take you through a different journey altogether, which I just did a few minutes back, right? I taken you the journey of a person earning 40 lakh rupees, right? But if ever you feel that is not adding any value, just give me a signal, right? Otherwise, I can flow like flowing in an ocean. And Ematicus is also, good enough, good name, but humble enough to keep paying me for talking something which is not part of the course also. Okay. Yeah. So is it clear how to find out the value of the first 10 years of cash flow? Or first 20 years of cash flow based on the discount factor, discount it, right? So what is the value coming? 5,075. But is this 5,075 the value of the company? Or is this the 5,075 the value of the first 10 years of the company? Tell me.
10 years of the company.
Only 10 years of the company. So can I say this is the total value of the company? No. Why? Because this represents the value of the company for the first 10 years of cash flow which company would be generating. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So what about 11th year? Because unlike Anusha, we are not Lord, right? We are not God. So Anusha thinks that 10 years is perpetuity because she might be knowing future, na? That after 10 years, this company will cease to exist. This company will go insolvent. She might have some, or she might be knowing the world is coming over by 2025. Maybe she's God, she's goddess, she knows a lot of things. But unlike her, we do not know, right? So unlike her, we are not God or goddess, and that is why we need to go with the man-made assumption. What is the man-made assumption over here, Bhaskar? That from 11th year to perpetuity, the value is still to be calculated. Yes or no?
Yes.
Until unless we calculate that value and add it to 5,071, 75, we can't declare the value as a value of company. Yes or no?
Yes, we cannot.
Yeah. So to get the value of the business starting from 11th year, because till 10th year we have the value, each year's value we have. So to get to the value starting from 11th year till perpetuity, we have to follow which concept? Terminal year concept. And what is the formula for terminal year concept? Final last year's cash flow, which is the latest cash flow in this, all this, the latest will be 1,307. Yes or no? Right? Because for 11th year, if you have to calculate from 11th year till perpetuity, for 11th, 10th is the latest number. Yes or no?
Yes.
So latest year's cash flow into 1 plus terminal year growth rate. So 1 plus terminal growth rate, you are assuming over here is nothing but 3%. Is it a good growth rate assumption? Yeah, because as I said, it would be more in line of what GDP growth rate would be or what population growth rate would be. So it should be a very small single digit, right? So 1 into terminal growth rate. What is the formula again? What is the formula? 1 plus terminal growth multiply by 1 plus terminal growth rate divided by WACC. Divided by what is the WACC?
10.8%.
10.8%. Minus again terminal growth rate, right?
3%.
Minus again terminal growth rate, which is here. Do that, you get it. Now we got, did we get the value? So what does this value represent? This value represent the value of the business starting from which year? 11th year. Till which year? Perpetuity. It is the present value of all the cash flows at the end of the last year of your calculation, which is the last year till we calculated 10th year. So it is the present value of all the cash flows as of 10th year, not as of today. What is the present value of as of today would be by multiplying it with the present value factor. But think that we are living in a year which is today plus 10 year. Today plus 10 year. Then how would I see this perpetuity value? This perpetuity value I will see as the present value of all the cash flows which I'm going to generate from the 11th year till perpetuity. So this is so we do not have to find out the present value of all these values starting from 11th year till perpetuity, because that is already factored in this formula. So, but if you see today, if you see this value at time t, would it require to be further brought down to present value? Yes, because this is present value as of which year? 10th year. Starting from which year? 11th year to perpetuity. So still from today, it is a future value which is going to be achieved in which year? 10th year. Right? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes,
So this is so in the timeline, if you are standing today, you would see this value is something is the value of the business starting from 11th year till perpetuity at the end of 10th year. So this is the value at the end of the 10th year. You have to consider this as the value of at the end of the 10th year for all the cash flows. So what is the value anyways you are going to receive in 10th year? 1307, right? On the top of it, you would also consider this business to give a value of 17,194 at the end of the 10th year, starting from 11th year till perpetuity. So in order to add and bring this value as of today, what you have to do? You have to multiply it with the present value factor of 10th year, yes or no? Then it will become future value, present value as of today, yes or no? See, this 1307 was the value as of at the end of 10th year. How did we arrive the present value of this 1307? By multiplying it with the present value factor of 36%.
Yeah, got it, got it.
And it becomes what? Present value. The present value of 1307 is what? 467. Similarly, the present value of the 17,194 bumper cash flow would be what? 17,194 multiplied by 17,194 multiplied by
36%.
Present value factor of 10th year. Present value factor of 10th year is 36%. Or if you don't have this factor calculated, you can also do it like this. 1 divided by 1 plus the discount rate to the power 10. This is how we calculated it, yes or no?
Yes.
Whichever way. See, this is how we calculated it, right? 1 divided by 1 plus the rate to the power 10, right? So what would be the value? The present value of the company for the first 10 years is what? 5,075. The present value of the terminal value is what? 6,040 or 148. So total value of the company will be nothing but 5,075 plus 6,148.37. So this is going to be the what? The value of the entire business. Any question? Tell me, any question?
No, Samir.
No, right. Now, this is what enterprise value. This is a value of the business from the perspective of whom? From the perspective of? This is a value of a business from the perspective of whom?
Both equity and debt holders.
So, debt plus equity, right? Now, so if you want to find the value only from the perspective of equity holders, you'll have to find what something called as market cap or equity value, for which it's very simple. You have to pay out debt. So if you pay out debt, what you'll do? Minus debt. And we talked about it that all the investment which company are doing is non-operating. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
If we talk about it or not? And all the investment which company is doing what? Non-operating. Yes or no?
Yes, non-operating.
But ultimately, who is the owner of it?
Equity holders.
Shareholders. So though they are doing it and though it should not be done still, ultimately at the time, would shareholders leave this rupee behind if they have to take out their company value from the company? No. Right? Ultimately, it belongs to whom? Shareholders. So all the cash and investment which the company is doing would be added back over here. This entire value. This is nothing but all the investment, the cash, the money market investment, the current investment, all the non-operating assets, all the marketable securities which are in the form of investment would be added back over here. So we call it, we will add what? Cash and cash equivalents. So all the investment which company has done is actually to deploy what? The cash they had, right? Or non-operating cash which they had, right? So if you do this adjustment, what you get is something called as equity value. So the present level debt, whatever is there as of today in the balance sheet, you need to reduce that. And the present value as of today, whatever the cash and cash equivalent related assets the company has, you need to add them. And what you will get is something for enterprise value. When you do this adjustment, you will be left with what is called as equity value or market cap. And this market cap, if you divide by number of shares, this equity value, if you divide by what? Number of shares. Hello? Equity value divided by equity
Number
value
of shares.
divided by number of shares. You will find what?
Intrinsic value per share.
Value per share. Value per share. Logically, this should be the value of the company based on what logics? Based on all the assumptions which you think the business would be able to grow in the future, the business would be able to invest in the future, the business would be earn money in the future, whatever you have thought about this company, all those assumptions is finally letting you to bring down to one value that is nothing but intrinsic value per share. Now this you can compare with what? Compare with market price per share. And if this value, which is nothing but the value or outcome of your imagination, all this is your imagination, you need to understand. All this forecasting which you have done is nothing but your imagination, yes or no? This forecasting which you have done is nothing but your imagination. You think that in 2016, the company is going to grow like this. These all are your imagination. You think the company is going to grow at the rate of 12%, 25%, whatever. You think that the company is going to earn 7% on investment income. It is you who think that the company is going to do all this sales and all this employee expense and all this capital expenditure. This is all our imagination, yes or no?
Yes.
So all this imagination now bringing down ultimately to one value which you can compare the market price of the share. If market price of the share is 500 and if your value is coming how much? 423. What should you do? You should not buy the share. Why? Because you think the value of the share should be how much? 423. But in the market, the share is trading at how much? 500. So according to you, you think the company should sell at 423, but in market it is selling at 500. That means it is already overvalued. It is already overvalued. And if the current market price of the share is 200, then you should do what? You should arrange a truckload of money. Hello? You should do what? Arrange a truckload of money and put it behind the share. Because the day it will reach to the value which you deserve, company which you believe the company deserve to achieve, you would double that truckload of money into 2 truckload of money. 1 truckload of money will convert into how many truckload of money? 2.5 truckload of money, right? Because that is the growth expectation, right? You are believing. Yeah. So 1 truckload of money would get converted into 2.12 truckload of money. Isn't it that much huge amount of money we are talking about? Hello? Truckload of money, you understand? Truckload of money. So you can, in 1 truck, how much money can you put? Thousands of crores, right? Thousands of crores converting into lakhs of crores. So you'll become huge, you'll become rich. But yeah, everybody's truck size is different. Now for Ambani, truckload of money maybe 10,000 crore. For someone who is earning 40 lakh rupees in Mumbai, truckload of money can be 20,000 rupees, right? So this is in crores, you need to understand. This is just INR, it's different. Otherwise, you say 10, how come somebody is having earning 40 lakh rupees in Mumbai is having much more cash than Ambani? No, it is 10,000 crores we are talking about. This is 20,000 rupees. And somebody is earning 40 lakh rupees in Sojat, a truckload of money can be 20 lakh rupees, right? Because as I said, in Sojat, you don't need to earn loan. Right? So that doesn't mean you come and ship to Sojat, by the way, guys, because one thing which is missing, which I didn't talk about, is that you do not have that much of opportunity to make that much of money in Sojat, right? You know, earning 40,000 itself will be a huge challenge, because again, opportunity is not that high, right? The opportunity size is there in Mumbai. It's not in Sojat. So if all of you come and shift to Sojat and you think that you will earn 40 lakh rupees, that's impossible dream to have, right? So that is also needs to be practically you need to consider, right? So yeah, so that's what we're talking about, right? So guys, this is what DCF is all about, guys. We can value any company based on DCF being private, public. Now, what you need to do is you need to go through it all over again, right? I have talked a lot of things together, and obviously you need to go through all of this, and you need to come back with questions tomorrow and ask. And if you want to ask, or else we will move forward to another topic, right? Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Any end points anybody want to make?
with one point is तो ये जो 423 this 423 that we arrived at is according to us it should be as of today only that the price should be there, right? And as of
Correct.
today we see that market price is 200, so we think array, we'll invest and then whatever. But then
Yeah.
wo jo, when we see reports, equity reports, by these analysts, they mention something called they give a target and price and also period also. That
Yes, correct.
how,
So they
how
give
do they calculate that period?
So that is very subjective. That is very subjective, and that depends a lot on the management. See, you believe this growth would come, right? 25% in 2017. This is what you believe. So right now, market might not be believing it, that this growth of 25% will come. So it all depends. It's very subjective that based on management commentary and all, when do you think the growth would be reflected of 25%? How early? If you think this 25% of growth would be visible by market in maybe 2 years, then you say this target, because as soon as this growth is visible. So why market? See, market is always intelligent and superior than any individual. You need to understand, right? But still having so intelligent and superior, if still the market is giving 200 rupees of value to it, that means somewhere market is not able to incorporate this growth rate of 25% or whatever the story you have. So if you think the story will be visible in 1 year or 2 years by management action, accordingly you decide the time period. See, all these numbers, nothing but it's a matter of your story. All these numbers are nothing but it's a matter of story.
Let's say 1 year ke, I think 1 year ke baad management will be market will be appreciating this fact that okay.
So as soon as you think that market would start, or the visible signs will be there in the numbers of the company where market would start seeing these numbers coming, market would be smart enough to factor in for all the till the terminal value. It will start giving the value to that stock of all those growth which the company is going to achieve till terminal. So that is what happens, right? For example, Tesla's value is so high. Everybody say that the company is making losses. Why the market? But market is smart enough to dedicate a value to Tesla for all the future 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of cash flow, right? Why? Because today market thinks that it can do that much of growth. But if you think that it is not possible, then you will come up with a sell rating, saying that market is overemphasizing on the growth which Tesla can achieve, and within 2-3 years market will get to know, because as soon as first 3-4 quarters when Tesla will start degrowing at certain rate, then market would realize that no, we thought this company will grow for 10-20% every year, but right now it is degrowing at 10% every year on sales. So what is the growth we are expecting might not be actually true. So as soon as the signs are early signs of those are there, market would automatically adjust the price. So it is your story. You need to come up with that point that when do you think that what you are seeing would be visible in market? How early? Is it a quarter, 2 months, a year, 2 years?
No, yeah. So let's say I come up with a story के एक quarter next quarter तक हो जाएगा. तो मैं तो मैं target price क्या दूंगा फिर like how will I
so you
calculate?
would come up with the target price of intrinsic value only mostly. You will say this is the target price and company can achieve it in 2 quarters.
Okay.
2 to 3 quarters.
अगर 1 साल होता है तो मैं इसी प्राइस को मेरे को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा ना, like into 1 year का जो भी मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ ग्रोथ. वही मैं बोल रहा था कि उसको कैलकुलेट कैसे करते हैं कि ये मेरा इंट्रिंसिक प्राइस है, इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू है, उसको अगर मेरे को 1 साल बाद लगता है तो मैं 1 साल से उसको ग्रो करूंगा ना, इस वैल्यू को मैं 1 साल का फैक्टर से ग्रो करूंगा, वो बोल रहा हूँ. ऐसे ही करते हैं ना
आप ये बोलना चाहते हो ना कि 1 साल का मैं इसको और कंपाउंड करूं इससे, राइट? बिकॉज़ दिस इज अ डिस्काउंटेड वैल्यू. तो आप 496.69 का टारगेट
तो ये ऐसे ही करके वो लोग टारगेट देते हैं ना कि
ऐसे. तो एक्चुअली में वो क्या करते हैं कि देखो, एक ये है, एक रिलेटिव अप्रोच होती है जो अभी अपन को कवर करनी बाकी है. देखो ये वाली, इसमें टारगेट प्राइस है जनरली जो आप जो बोल रहे हो ना, वो ना रिलेटिव अप्रोच पे ज्यादा होती है, क्योंकि ना वो पी टारगेट प्राइस जो ये देते हैं वो पी बाय सम फॉरवर्ड मल्टीपल पे देते हैं, ट्रेलिंग 12 मंथ्स और फॉरवर्ड 12 मंथ्स ऑफ अर्निंग. उसके बेसिस पे एक मल्टीपल आप डिसाइड करते हो. तो वो जनरली ना एक्चुअली इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पर टारगेट प्राइस रखा है ना,
DCF में टारगेट प्राइस नहीं होती है, DCF को इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू बोलते हैं। ये ना एनालिस्ट अपने खुद के लिए करते हैं ये सब। तो इसके बेसिस टारगेट प्राइस ज्यादातर लोग नहीं देते हैं। टारगेट प्राइस जो आप स्टोरी बोलना चाहते हो वो मार्केट वैल्यूएशन के बेसिस पे देते हो। देखो यहाँ पर मैंने, जब इसको पढ़ेंगे अपन कल, तो आप देखोगे इसमें टारगेट प्राइस की बात भी करेंगे।
ओके ओके।
तो वो एक्चुअल में कैसा है कि इतना आसान नहीं है कि इस पर मैं 10% का ग्रोथ लगा दूं और इसमें 469 दे दूं, बट इसमें आपको बस ये पता चल जाता है कि स्टोरी इज इंटैक्ट, story is intact, and there are signs that it is undervalued. How quickly it can go is because market value company as a multiple. Market assign a multiple to the current earning of the company. If you think the future earning would be increased by 10%, and knowing that incremental earning in future market will assign a higher multiple, right now it is assigning a lower multiple because the earning is less. So what that higher multiple could be? So then they do not have to assign a growth rate or not. वो multiple future का होगा, तो बोलेंगे 1 साल बाद की ये वैल्यू है, 1003 रुपए है 1 साल बाद की, ऐसा। So we'll talk about this tomorrow. Target price वाला जो है ये multiple basis पे कल बात करेंगे। कल anyways we had to cover this market valuation. Okay. So we need to leave now and we meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Guys, hello.
Okay.
Quickly give me some signs so that, yeah. So yeah, so this is more intrinsic value is more to for shareholders own, for investors own, sorry, for analysts own perspectives that yes. So both the theories go together. You need to understand both the approaches goes together. दोनों होने दो, उसके बाद में थोड़ा इसके ऊपर और डिस्कस करते हैं। Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you. Then see you tomorrow, and we will continue our discussion tomorrow. Come up with questions, guys.
Thank you, Sumit. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.